smart TVs. talkSPORT Goals is brought to you by Final One Standing, which is new from William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org. Terms and conditions apply. I'm your host, Sam Ellard. Abby Summers, James Bayliss and CJ the Deluded Gooner are with us on what should be a busy night of Champions League football. 3 English sides are in action. Arsenal and Spurs to come at 8. But there really is only one place to start at the moment because Manchester City are currently at Bodo Glimt. And we know Man City domestically are having a really, really tough couple of weeks. 4 without a win in the league, losing the Manchester derby. But team, we are an hour into the game. It's Bodo Glimt 3, Man City 0. Bodo Glimt scored twice midway through the first half to go 2-0 up. And just as we came to air, Man City conceded a 3rd goal. This is a massive night for Man City, and this is, there's one thing losing in Bodo Glimt, but there's another thing for this to be a scoreline after an hour, guys.
It's a historic night for Bodo Glimt, man. They're winning 3-0 against City, and I think we've all watched this game so far. It's just highlighting what we see with Man City every week. They're fragile defensively. I don't know if Mark Guehi solves that alone, really. Like, they've really got to go back to basics. It's a terrible night so far for them.
Manchester. Oh, Erling Haaland there with
get
a
worse.
chance, comes back across the face of goal. And Manchester City are going to clear. Are they? Nico O'Reilly still got the ball. He works out. There's a shot from distance, and Man City do pull a goal back. What a wonderful finish that is there from Ryan Jerky. Could Man City start the comeback now? An hour gone. It's Bodo Glimt 3, Man City 1. There was sort of pinball in the Bodo Glimt area, and the ball came to Ryan Jerky. His first time shot into the bottom right-hand corner beats the goalkeeper. Bodo Glimt 3, Man City 1. And hey, Abby, maybe this is the start of a wonderful comeback for Manchester City.
I mean, it needs to be. I can't actually believe... I mean, look, it's a tough place to go, guys.
Yes.
It's a tough place to go. Bodo Glimt in the winter. It's true, though. Give them the respect. I mean, you have to look at City and say defensively, they've just been all over the place. We saw that the other day as well against Manchester United. Obviously, they have got injuries and they have brought in Mark Guehi to try and solve that. But it's just not good enough. Like, you can't be run through like that. And you've got to have a little bit of defensive capability and just have a look. I mean, 3-0 down, Manchester City. I mean, this is probably the best night one of the best nights in Bodo's history.
I mean, the population of the town is the same as what the Etihad Stadium is. I mean, that is the story of Bodo Glimt, which was highlighted very well when they got deep in the Europa League last season. And this is exactly why we love football. The race for the top 8 is so tight and so congested. There's about a dozen teams that are all fighting for around half a dozen places inside that top 8. Man City start the evening 4th in the table on 13 points. But if they don't win this evening, I mean, again, there's about 6 to 8 teams who all could win either tonight or tomorrow night and go above Man City in the table. It's so tight. It's so congested. It's going to be a massive game night tonight and tomorrow night. And then, of course, it all culminates tomorrow, next Wednesday, doesn't it? When every single game gets played at the exact same time in the Champions League. A bit more of a broader picture, James. What have you made of Manchester City? I mean, it looked like, they sort of started slowly, then put the pressure on Arsenal.
Been sent off.
And Rodri's just been sent off. Goodness me. When it rains, it pours. Man City 3-1 down and now down to 10 men. Rodri, second yellow card. 3-1 down to 10 men.
Gave and it's the important as well Rodri. For the 3rd goal. This is crazy. Out of all the players, you would never think it's Rodri that is losing it. They actually haven't looked as good since he's been coming back, which is crazy because their whole capitulation started to actually happen as soon as he got injured. Yeah. But this is stunning, absolutely stunning. We saw Erling Haaland's face as well on the replay after the 3rd goal went in. He just looked, I don't even know if the word just discombobulated in disbelief.
He looks off it, doesn't he, Abby? I mean, we watched the game together on Saturday. The man, I know that he's, there's been no Marmoush the last couple of weeks and maybe hasn't been that many opportunities to rest Erling Haaland. He looks slightly off it. He doesn't look particularly fit.
7 games, isn't it? He hasn't scored. It's unheard of.
Yeah, he's scored. He's in a really wretched run of form. And some of the defending that we saw on Saturday was awful. And some of the defending we've seen tonight. What do you think has gone wrong, James, for Man City over the last couple of weeks?
Structurally, they're a bit of a mess defensively, but I think that's been true of most of this season. I just think in December, the likes of Ferdinand and Shirky really came to the party and started scoring the kind of goal we saw.
And Bodo Glimt just hit the crossbar.
They could have had about 7 today.
Yeah.
That Shirky goal we saw to make it 3-1 is the kind of thing City have in their locker and have had for years. Players on the edge of the area can find the far corner and make something happen out of nothing. But that works when you've got Stones in his best form with Diaz and Ake and Walker there as well, and everything quite tight in midfield with Gundogan and Rodri. They haven't had the legs or energy in midfield. They haven't structurally been very good for a little while. This goes back to last season. I keep hearing from City fans, and I get why, because of everything they've done in this era under Pep. I keep hearing, if we win 6, 7, 8 in a row, who knows what can happen? When was the last time they did that?
This you know what?
This team hasn't been capable of that.
That's fans thinking back to the City team of a few years ago. Yeah. Them sort of getting to the turn of the year and winning 10, 12, 14 in a row. Almost just felt normal. This City team is... I actually think this City team this season is better than I thought it was going to be. Yes. Like I thought they would maybe be competing for the top 4, not going for the title. But it's still a long, long, long way off the City team of old. They've got good attacking players. They can score goals. They can be dangerous. But I think particularly defensively, it really does feel as if you can get a Man City. I don't think they can...
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. No. Linesman, don't do that.
I have to say, I think this is tight, though.
And then
I think he's on.
We saw another one that I thought...
At 2-0, they had a goal disallowed for 3-0. Was it 3-0 for 4-0?
It was 2-0 for 3-0.
Yeah, he was right first time.
Shame we don't have the odds for this as well.
Yeah, and also where's Kim Qatari as well when you need him? He was
I think this is really tight, this one, though.
You call it, you think it's on
side? Miles off.
Look at his arms.
Miles off. Never listen to me ever again. You know they were talking about Rodri, and you mentioned there, Abby, like... that was another thing I kept hearing. We're adding Semenyo. Rodri's returning. Now we brought Guehi in. Two things. One, we just mentioned, structurally there's a bit of a problem. I mean, you can add these players all you like, but I don't know how Guehi makes the Manchester derby much better for them. And then with Rodri, I actually feel a little bit for Rodri, even though he's had some things to say about Arsenal over the years. I feel a bit for him because he's come back from a massive injury, then had a setback in the summer after that. He's a player who, I think he's always covered the pitch well, but he's never been like a Declan Rice in terms of getting up and down. And I think if you don't have the structure around you, you can be exposed in that 6 quite easily. And returning from injury, post a massive ACL injury, and expected to basically knit everything together and everything to just run through you again, I think it's a massive ask for someone who played at such a high level pre-injury. So him coming back wasn't simply going to fix things. Pep's got a lot more work to do.
Exactly, and you look at the structure, like we're going to focus on the defence naturally, but how do you get to ask questions of the City defence? The midfield is disillusioned. They don't press from the front in the same way. It's square pegs in round holes, and there's just too many gaps, and we've seen that all season. I actually thought City would be a lot better this season. The one time I really reckoned that defensively there's issues is when they beat Fulham. Like they're conceding an alarming amount of goals, and I mean Pep Guardiola's a generational gaffer. You back him to figure it out, but they're really, really in a bad sort of way right now.
Man City's wage bill is around £400 million a year. Bodo Glimt's is around £20 million a year. So I mean that's just sort of the level of difference that that we're looking at right now.
Also, just one more thing. Sorry, on Rodri. There's 54 seconds, by the way, that separated both his yellow cards. That's the captain. Yeah. Like you've got to be smarter than that. We're talking about such an elite, high-level player. I just don't expect to see that type.
We come a little bit slack given what he's been through.
No, of course, and I think James is absolutely spot on. You can't expect him to come back and be the exact same version of Rodri when you've had that amount of injuries and such a big injury.
Not immediately.
It takes time to recover and even try and get back to that level. But for example, that's a head loss moment where you've been booked 54 seconds before, then you've got your second and you're off, and you're the captain.
Yeah, was it he who made the comment about mentality to Arsenal?
Yeah, he did. I mean, he's on that because they've won stuff, but we need to see that mentality.
You wouldn't mind a few 0-0s at the moment, is all I'm saying. Listen,
yeah, absolutely. So Bodo Glimt 3, Man City 1, Man City down to 10 men there. Rodri, as Abby mentioned. Stay humble, Rodri. There we go.
Imagine saying that. Crazy.
You got to stay humble in life, man. Life comes at you very fast. And I'm sure Rodri and City will speak about it. I know they've got all the medals, but you're only as good as your last game, and right now they're quite terrible.
All jokes aside, it makes for good rivalry. The whole stay humble thing. The whole
it's great.
That's just in jest.
If Arsenal win the league this season, which it's looking quite good, there's going to be that extra spice because of I
love it, man.
And while the Liverpool-Man City Klopp Guardiola rivalry was great in terms of the games of football and how close it was, it didn't have that nastiness, did it? Like there was quite a lot of mutual respect, I think, between the two teams and the two managers. But I completely agree with you. You think back to the the Fergie Wenger days, Mourinho Wenger days. I think when there's a little bit of hatred, Foden gets a shot away from just outside the box. It was hit pretty tamely though towards the goalkeeper. Yeah, I'm guessing you Arsenal fans are probably. Have you got like a notepad of things and people and stuff you want to say, which you're just going to keep close to your chest, and then Maytime, look, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp.
Tell them.
The receipts are there, right?
I'm not a petty individual, but I
wouldn't be petty,
but I absolutely do. Yeah. We're all just waiting, and let's hope it happens.
Rodri, it's not safe for you if we do this, I'll say that much. It's not you're the first target. Haaland is actually fine because he actually is a good sport. And on a serious note, I think football's gone a bit weird. You're meant to have a bit of banter, like call us what you want, we'll call you what you like, and just keep it moving, man.
You know the Lewis Skelly celebration?
Loved that.
Mimicked it. Yeah. Haaland was the only one who didn't have a problem with
exactly.
it. Yeah. And it's like that's what the game.
I think Haaland comes across as a really, really good player.
Yeah, he's on banter.
He's like a really nice, fun, laid back, quite fun guy, right?
He's on banter, man.
Listen, we need a striker. So...
There's the headline, isn't it? Erling Haaland to leave Man City.
That's going to be the title on the visual.
Yeah, there we go.
What are you trying to apply, CJ?
That's how you can get views with that. That's cash money. Engagement and that. Jamie,
come on, CJ. This is
clip that, Jamie.
That's not what we do.
The game is the game. Clip that.
Can I just make it perfectly clear, CJ, that talkSPORT Goals in particular, we pride ourselves on being a balanced goals update show to keep people across all of the.
I'm just trying to get you some subscribers.
Goals as they go in on talkSPORT Goals. We don't want hot takes or stuff like that.
If there happens to be a clippable offence, then Jamie will put it out.
Are we all saying that Pep Guardiola should be sat tomorrow morning? Can we just confirm that is what we're all saying?
That's blasphemy. I could never utter those words, man.
I wonder if they're chanting that.
I
hope so.
Yeah. We have no sound on, but they definitely are chanting.
I'm sure.
Right? Yeah. And also, I mean, this is Phil Foden's coming off now for Omar Mamouche. We talk about City's dip in form over the last couple of weeks. I don't think it's a coincidence, Abby. Their dip in form has maybe coincided with Phil Foden being out of form. He had kind of a 10-game spell, didn't he, where it looked like we were starting to see the Phil Foden of T2 seasons ago. They got player of the season. But again, over the last 6 weeks, and I know this better than anyone because he's in my fantasy team, he is not producing anything.
Are you taking him out?
No,
you got to bite the bullet.
Is that right?
Have you still got Salah in it? Or how long did you have Isak in it before you realised that he had to come out?
This is about Foden, not Isak.
On Foden, again, it's a weird one because obviously we were just raved about him so much and it was deservedly so as well when he got Player of the Year. But I don't know, you have to look at it across the last 2 years. If we also include the Euros in that as well, the performance has not been there. We've seen moments, seen glimmers, seen sparks, but
he should be the leader of the City side. We all know he's a generational talent and he goes through great moments of form. And as Sam mentioned, he won Player of the Year. But let's be honest, England in a hot minute hasn't seen a talent like Foden, and we've not seen that consistency from him. And he needs to get it together, not just for City, and I'm jumping ahead, but we've got to World Cup to it.
This is not me saying he's a one-season wonder, please.
No, he's definitely not.
Please don't.
He's definitely not.
But as in, the expectation of what we have of him or what we have of Cole Palmer, again, obviously we appreciate he's been injured too, but again, hasn't still hit the heights. Saka has been the most consistent, over that course of the last probably 5 years, has carried England at times or Arsenal at times. But actually, if we look at the numbers of Saka, the numbers in the last year haven't actually been brilliant either. Do you think that we overhype these young players?
I don't know about Saka. Nobody overhyped Saka. Saka got you got a hamstring injury.
I don't think we do it. I don't think we do it.
And he was still one of our top goal scorers.
You don't think we do?
No, I genuinely think that your Sakas, your Fodens, your Bellingham. I mean, Jude Bellingham's playing for Real Madrid. Firstly, Phil Foden's playing the Man City team that's won the treble, won 4 Premier League.
We do build them up to tear them down.
Yeah.
Oh no, we definitely do that. No, in terms of are we overhyping these players? No, Abby. I genuinely think in those players we have got world-class players. I think a question needs to be asked of the coachings of England.
Yeah.
How to try and get the best out of them. Have we done that? No. Are they performing at the best for England? No. But in terms of raw ability,
the talent is undeniably
I don't think with any of these players...
You don't get better than Foden.
I don't think,
I think that we're just too quick to label them as world class.
I think maybe...
Build these talents up and we're the first to tear them down.
CJ is right. I think we like to... Jude Bellingham's a great example of that. This guy has won the Champions League of Real Madrid and people want to tear him down for England.
We should be so proud of what he's achieving.
Exactly that. Guys, we're off to an absolute fire then on talkSPORT Goals. We're live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel and on your smart TVs and what should be a busy and fun night of Champions League football. Manchester City are 3-1 down to Bodo Glimt away from home and down to 10 men. We have got 7 games at 8 o'clock tonight in the Champions League, including Arsenal away at Inter Milan. They're 6 from 6 in the Champions League. And what a big night, to put it lightly, for Thomas Frank. I will ask Abby maybe after the break, but feels like for me, if Spurs lose tonight, it really is going to be the end of the road for Thomas Frank tomorrow morning. We've also got 8 games tonight in the Championship. Thank you for your company on talkSPORT Goals. We're back in a couple of minutes' time. Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. It is brought to you by Final One Standing. It's new from William Hill. 18 plus, gambleware.org. Terms and conditions apply. talkSPORT Goals is live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel and on your smart TVs until 10 o'clock this evening on Tuesday the 20th of January. Game week number 7 in the Champions League. It's Sam Ellard, Abby Summers, James Bayliss and CJ the Laguna taking you through a busy night of action. A massive story is currently developing between Man City and Bodo Glimt because Man City, who we know in the Premier League are in a wretched run of form, are losing 3-1 away from home against Bodo Glimt. Man City do start the evening in 4th place in the Champions League. So as things stand, they are in the top 8, but there are around 6 to 8 teams who could go above them over the next couple of nights with victories. It's really, really tight for that race to finish inside the top 8. Bodo Glimt 3, Man City 1, 76 minutes gone. Man City are down to 10 men. In Club Brugge 1-4-1 at Kairat. The 7 games to come tonight in the Champions League. Inter Milan versus Arsenal. If Arsenal win this game, they will set their longest ever winning streak in the top European competition. They've won each of their last 6 by an aggregate score of 17-1, keeping 5 clean sheets in the process. Spurs versus Borussia Dortmund. Both sides on 11 points, so both sides are just 1 point outside of the top 8 going into the game this evening. Tottenham are the only sides who have won all 3 of their home Champions League matches without conceding this season, scoring 8 goals in their 3 wins. Elsewhere, we've got Copenhagen, Napoli, Olympiacos by Leverkusen, Real Madrid, Monaco. Sporting versus PSG should be a big game. PSG just 2 points outside of the top 8, and also Villarreal versus Ajax, that's second bottom versus third bottom. And also we got 8 games tonight in the Championship, including top of the table Coventry. They're in action at home to Millwall. Coventry 8 clear of third place Ipswich and 6 clear of second place Middlesbrough. Ipswich this evening also play. They're at home to Bristol City. But Spurs Dortmund, Abbey, is absolutely massive. If Spurs lose this evening, are we getting anywhere near closer, do you think, to Thomas Frank being put out of his misery?
No. It's not just Thomas Frank being put out of his misery, by the way.
Yeah, but he's the one who's going to be sacked. That's what I meant.
Yeah. No, I actually don't think it would be tonight, to be honest with you. We've actually got a very good record in European competitions. I think it's 23 unbeaten at home, which is such a parallel to obviously what we're dealing with in the league. My bet on it would be, unless we were going to get battered 7-0, which again is a possibility, but unless that happened, I think it would be decided after the Burnley game. I also think that it's also buying themselves more time because I don't think they quite know what they're going to do post Thomas Frank. Do you go and get someone interim? Obviously, any manager that they would probably want or be looking at long term would be in the summer. So whoever it is going to be an interim. We spoke about Heisinger the other day. Is that why he's there to then be interim inevitably when Thomas Frank goes? I feel like it's not an if, it's when now. Yeah. I think that we've moved there. I was also watching back a clip that we did from Goals, maybe October time, and I think I said to you, this is in danger of becoming a Nuno situation, and it has completely become a Nuno situation because it's just the wrong appointment. It's the wrong style of manager. It's the wrong type of football. The fans are on every little thing he does now. The comments that he's made, we are going to lose football matches. There's loads of quotes that you can look at since him taking over that just don't endear yourself. And everybody says he's a lovely person, lovely man. I'm not here to attack his character. I'm sure he is lovely. But when a job is too big for someone, and just it is. We've been seeing that since probably, but I can't actually think of a good 90 minutes under him. Maybe against Manchester City.
That was second game of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah, I honest to God have not seen a good performance. And it's slightly different with Ange because I had the first 10 games to go off of where I'd had a half here, a half there. We're just going backwards. We're certainly not moving forwards, and we're not just staying as we were. So I can only say that apart from the set pieces that we're now better at, everything has gone backwards. I'm not seeing any type of green shoot. And whether or not he wins tonight, I don't think it makes a difference. When your own fans are there in the South Stand singing "You're getting sacked in the morning," I think it's a pretty damning. It's a pretty damning indictment.
I have no issue with Spurs fans who think he shouldn't keep his job. The performance has been terrible. The results have been terrible. What I can't shake is this feeling of so what? Mourinho won at every club but Tottenham, albeit you sacked him for a cup final. Conte goes on to do well at Napoli. It's same with Amorim at Man United, Thomas Tuchel now, Ange Postecoglou. Are they just all bad managers?
No.
And there's kind of that point at which you stop and go, is this just not a recurring cycle where you might get someone who pulls you back up the table. Then there might be someone like Poch who does something incredible. To be fair, and there was that spell of Redknapp and Poch where Spurs were legitimately competitive as well. But I don't know. I just can't shake this feeling of like, cool, sack him. But
changes.
No, obviously he'll get better than this.
I feel the same way as you.
Yeah.
I am very much like, sack him, don't sack him, whatever. Like, the thing is, he has to go because genuinely we could get sucked into a relegation battle. I'm not even.
Really, are the points of that?
Well, I think Leeds are only 2 points behind us in the league, right? So if we're saying that Leeds are in and around it, I think West Ham are 7 points behind us. Tottenham don't win games, so
West Ham are 7 points behind you.
I think it's 7 points now.
Tell our research for this show.
Look, you've known me a long time. I've always said it is systemic failures from the top, from the ownership, from ENIC, from the Lewis family. Daniel Levy, he's still co-owner. He might not be there, but it is years and years of failure from the top. I must be so boring to listen to because I say the same thing all the time. I've always said it doesn't matter who is in charge, really, because it always ends in the same way. But at least if you've got a manager that you can believe in and you see a few green shoots, or they're very good with youth, or there's a lot more that can be got out of this squad than what we're getting out of it.
Didn't you have that with Ange for 6 months until it withered away? Like ultimately, then everything else infects it and catches up. The football was great, young players thriving. And then eventually it catches up.
The problem with Ange was that he lost 22 times. That was what happened. He deserved to go based on that.
I think you're right to let him go despite the Europa League win.
Look,
I agree.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing. Would I have... Now I sit here and I think, oh, maybe I should have seen that third season. But that's because the bar is on the floor. That's because I'm desperate at this point.
I get it.
And I think that the expectation of Tottenham had grown so much because of the groundwork that was put in by Redknapp, by Yol, by Pochettino to build us to a place where we were then competitive. We were achieving things that we shouldn't have been achieving. Consistently finishing the top four, getting to a Champions League final, other semi-finals and finals in the cups and everything else. We were overachieving with a net spend of 0. And that is the biggest thing. It raised the bar, it raised the expectations. So if you look at the last 6.5 years since that, we've completely regressed, but we've regressed back so far. Not just Poch, Redknapp, all of that. We've gone so far back. I said it last week, we've gone back to the 90s. And it's completely true. So any good work that ENIC had done in terms of laying the foundations and in terms of off the pitch, because they've done a lot off the pitch to build all these facilities, amazing training ground, blah, blah, blah.
Beyonce concerts,
Chris Brown concert. That's the best performance I've seen at Spurs. Not going to lie. It's the best thing I've seen in the last 6 years. It's true.
Wow. You like a bit of Chris Brown, don't you?
I do love Chris Brown, but...
What's your favourite Chris Brown song?
Couldn't tell. There's too many.
No, pick one, though.
No, I can't.
There's one obvious one.
It's impossible.
There's one obvious one.
What's yours?
Well, Forever's his best song, isn't it?
No, I disagree. Way too mainstream.
What does that mean, mainstream?
Like, you're just a...
No, the thing is,
you're not a proper Chris Brown fan.
You're a casual.
Casual fan.
No, I might be. By the way, Abby, very, very kindly one evening. I mean, I say took me. She had a free ticket and we were working together that day and she was the first person I saw. Took me to Usher in the box of the...
I think I was offered that ticket as well.
No,
it's outrageous. I think I was.
Are you being serious there?
Joking.
Honestly.
I'm serious.
You should have seen...
Did I actually?
I think so.
Are you serious?
I think so.
I thought you were joking.
I don't think I did.
I think you had another.
I think she literally came in.
I did.
Do you know what?
I think someone else was selling a ticket.
Boys, do you know
someone
else was selling.
Do you know how big time she is now? Like, she forgot on the day until about midday that she had a box at the O2 to watch Usher. Like, she literally got to work and was like, oh no, I've got a box tonight. I went along with her. I mean, be honest, did I ruin your street cred a little bit?
No, not
like
at all.
Abby to the front, like dancing, giving it the big one. Like, I'm like the granddad in the back, just like tapping my foot,
checking the scores.
Basically. What's happening?
Cup 4th round tonight.
Hey, I love the
He was good, though.
So do I.
He did this thing, though, where he literally spent an hour walking around the O2 arena.
With cherries.
Feeding just women, obviously, cherries. Like in quite a, how do we put it? Like, let's say...
quite 5 a day,
No, it was... but you know what I remember? I was on the breakfast show the next morning, so I had like a 3:30 alarm, and I'm sat there like at 10 o'clock watching Usher saunter around the O2, dropping cherries in people's...
I enjoyed it.
What? What's so
and
great about that?
And then talkSPORT Goals was born after that. I need something to do.
I love how we've gone from talking about Thomas Frank getting sacked to Usher putting cherries.
No,
in
but you know
people's
what I thought, Abby? As you were going off your long run on Tottenham Hotspur,
yes,
I just thought to myself,
I've heard it before.
long night ahead.
I've heard it all before.
I've heard it 15 times in the last 3 weeks. But also, when you're 2-0 down at about 9:45, then also, by the way, if you think it's not just the goals tonight, we got the Saudi Arabia Darts Masters there in the top right corner as well. Luke Littler v Michael van Gerwen in the final. So maybe over the next half an hour, it can be talkSPORT Arrows as well as talkSPORT Goals. Oh, CJ,
a good name, that.
A little bit, you like that one? Yeah. A little bit of darts, Van Gerwen, Littler.
I have no clue how darts is played. All I know
what?
is
You've never watched the darts?
No, I'm not watching no darts. I've never.
You know how it works, though.
Nah.
You must have a rough
closest
idea.
I've got to darts is the
in the green room
over there throwing.
Oh wow!
I don't know anything about. If it's not football,
you must have a rough idea of how,
you just throw arrows and. That's it.
What's your second favourite sport?
Football.
Do you like a sport that isn't football?
Boxing.
All right.
If that, like,
James, you strike me as someone that rocks up to Wimbledon in the summer.
Yeah, love tennis.
Like cricket,
love
don't
bid.
you?
Do you like cricket?
He looks like a cricket.
No, I don't like cricket.
You don't like cricket?
No, I don't like it. But I do like tennis a lot.
What's your second favourite sport?
Yeah, tennis. Yeah.
Tennis is number 2.
Yeah, 100%.
Abs?
F1.
Is it really?
Yeah, but I do like NFL as well. But
I'm starting to like it.
Yeah.
I didn't know you liked your Formula 1. You've never ever mentioned Formula 1 to me before.
No, she's big F1 fan.
Who's your favourite driver? Lando Norris, isn't it?
No, I actually used to love Max Verstappen.
Why?
But why? Because I wanted to support a team that actually won things.
Is that it?
But I do love Lando.
Yeah?
Yeah, was very happy for him. I probably would say I like McLaren the most. And I have been to their facilities a few times, which is very cool.
Okay, good.
So is Thomas Frank getting sacked tomorrow?
You love cricket, don't you?
No, cricket's my number
cricket.
2. Yeah.
You love cricket.
And just to let everyone know, I will be providing updates on Sri Lanka versus England in the first ODI in Colombo on Thursday, 9:00 UK time start. I'll have team news and toss news at 8:30. Okay, well, they flip a coin.
Okay.
Whether you want to bat or bowl first, honestly.
I'll be sure to tune in.
It's going to be good. It's a big one-day international, guys. I mean, come on.
What does that even mean?
CJ, I know you're itching to talk about the Arsenal, but I promise you're going to get your moments to come.
I'm just wondering what you're talking about. You're saying ODI and tossing and all of this stuff like.
Sri Lanka v England, one-day international, 50
What
overs
is one
aside.
day? What, is it just one day?
It's over in one day,
It's
yeah.
over in one day,
okay.
which is much better than the other one where it's 5 days.
Yeah, I always thought cricket lasts like 2 years, man. Like, my granddad used to watch it. It's boring.
Boring. So boring.
Bang out for mate. Bodo Glimt 3, Man City 1. We've got a couple of minutes to go in that game. We'll take a very quick break, and then when we come back, we'll try and round up everything that's happened, and maybe the guys can provide some wisdom on just what's going wrong at Man City at the moment.
Yeah, Abby, I think it was.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. Is brought to you by Final One Standing, which is new from William Hill. 18 plus gambleaware.org. Terms and conditions apply. It's Sam Ellard, Abby Summers, James Bayliss, CJ the Deluded Gooner with you until around 10 o'clock this evening on a busy night of action in the Champions League. Man City are a couple of minutes away from an awful defeat away at Bodo Glimt. They're down to 10 men and Bodo Glimt lead Man City by 3-1. Bodo Glimt are winless in their last 6 meetings with English sides in the European competition. But that is going to end this evening, and we are surely talking about one of the biggest upsets in Champions League history. Bodo Glimt 3, Man City 1 at 8 o'clock. Arsenal 6 wins from 6 are at Inter Milan. No Gabriel Martinelli in the starting 11 this evening. He has scored in all 5 of his Champions League appearances this season with 5 goals. Maybe he'll get one off the bench. Spurs, Borussia Dortmund, 2 sides just outside the top 8 on 11 points. It's the 7th major European meeting between Spurs and Dortmund. The German side won both in the Europa League in 2015-16, but Spurs have won all 4 in the Champions League across the last couple of times they've met. Copenhagen, Napoli, Olympiacos, Bayer Leverkusen, Real Madrid in the top 8 take on Monaco. Real Madrid, though, have lost 2 of their last 3 games in the Champions League, most recently losing at home to Man City 2-1. They haven't lost back-to-back home games in the same edition of the competition since 18-19. Sporting, PSG have won just 1 of the 8 away major European matches in Portugal, and Villarreal versus Ajax is second bottom versus third bottom. The 2 biggest games in the Championship this evening. These games starting at 7:45. Top of the table, Coventry hosting Millwall. That's first versus fourth. Coventry have won 5 of their last 6 league meetings with Millwall. Ipswich start the evening third. They take on Bristol City just outside the playoffs. Bristol City have lost 15 of their last 16 Championship away games against sides relegated from the Premier League in the previous season. But guys, we've got 30 seconds left. Bodo Glimt 3, Man City 1. I mean, James, I'm not overplaying it by saying this is going to be one of the biggest upsets in Champions League history, you know?
Yeah, one of the biggest, and it's not come in a context where, I don't know, City were missing a load of players. I appreciate the defence isn't probably what they'd want to put out there week in, week out, but still some good players in there. It's not even a situation which City, you know, are top of the league phase and can feel they can lose a game and it not really matter. They're, you know, in a conversation where there's still quite a bit of work to do. So this is a massive, massive result. Bodo Glimt have been very competitive in Europe for a few years now. I remember Arsenal going there. I think we won 1-0 with a penalty, but I think it was quite tough work.
Yeah, they're very good technically.
They worked Spurs hard, didn't they? But I think you turned it around from 2-0 down, but they gave you a really good game. I know you beat them last season, I think, en route to winning the Europa. So they're a side have been bubbling up to a point, but destroying Man City, and let's call it destroying, right? Rodri sent off for 2 yellows, 2 offside goals as well. I think it's a tremendous, tremendous night. And I think it's a really worrying sign for City. Who
you have to question their mentality, so to cut you, James.
Who, City?
Yeah, because I mean, I give City credit, it's Man City and whatnot. And this is just, as much as this is a big night in the Champions League, it's not an isolated incident.
Yeah.
I know if this was other clubs, and again, City, they're the biggest and baddest. They've won everything. They've got a generational manager. They've got Haaland. The list goes on. If this was other clubs, you'd be question marking their mentality, considering what these players have done, not just in recent years, but really the best part of Pep Guardiola's tenure. Surely you have to question everything at the football club. And then you got Donnarumma, like he always does, surrounding the ref. Surely there's a mentality thing as much as tactics at this club. Surely their players have to stand up to be counted now.
Okay, there could be. I'm not disputing the idea.
I'm not suggesting there.
I'm not disputing the idea that, mentally they don't have the steel and resilience they had over the years when they won 4 in a row, won the treble, all that. But I think sometimes we can jump to that too quickly. And first and foremost, there's just a real structural problem. I think, look, let's be fair. Diaz and Gvardiol are a big miss.
Stones as well.
And Stones. They're a big, big miss. But and that's true. That's true, to be fair. We missed Saliba and Gabriel, and they didn't close the gap in that point.
Last year, man.
But I think, and that's true too, and they're spending money. But I think...
Probably since last January, they've basically signed a whole new 11.
Yeah.
Since the last January transfer window with the
absolutely, and we should hold them to that stand. Not only the ones they've set, but the ones we hold every other team who spends that kind of money. But what I would say is, I think what's concerning for City is we can talk about the players they're missing now, the goals they're conceding. I was told that Diaz and Gvardiol were having good seasons, and they still looked quite messy at the back. So I don't know how just plugging in Gahey, Stones returning, Diaz being fit in a month or whatever, fixes all these problems for Man City. Now, again, okay, they welcome back Rodri, but we were saying earlier, it's so unfair to expect him to just...
And by the way, City's form since Rodri's come back has completely dipped. I think it's 2 wins and 7 since Rodri's come back into the team, which is, awful results.
Yeah,
it's Nico, if anything, at the moment. Like, he was in a decent patch of form before. He ironically...
Well, it felt like he was just starting to kind of maybe get to his best before Rodri. Like, it took him a little while to settle. James, how do they turn this around, Man City? Are they going to turn it around under Pep Guardiola?
I think the best teams I've ever seen, when I've feared City the most, is when I've actually known what's going out week in, week out. And actually, City fans at one point in the season were complaining that he was just playing the same 11 and not resting, rotating. That might have played a part with injuries. Who can know? I'm not physio.
Played Haaland against Exeter as well.
Well, things like that.
That was really bizarre.
That's really strange. I agree. But I do think maybe that team could benefit from, is Foden on the right or is he a 10 in this team? Is Shirky on the right or is he a 10 in this team? Is Bernardo playing deeper with Rodri or is Nico going to get a run? But I appreciate injuries have played a part. Is Reinders going to be... I know he's not like, the bulkiest of central midfielders, but he gives a bit of steel and legs and dynamism in that midfield. Get him next to a 6 as a bit more protection. Pick your fullbacks. And I appreciate, not ideal that Nunes has been injured, Nouri's been injured. I understand that those things play a part. Are you going to go with Doku, Semenyo, more direct wingers? Or are you going to play with Foden and Shirky in the pockets and get your wing backs getting forward? Like, I think they need to just find an identity and kind of stick with it. And I think where Man City maybe are tripping up a little bit is they probably are trying a few too many different things right now, and Pep just needs to settle on what is going to carry him to the rest of the season.
Yeah, is that fair, CJ? It felt like after certainly last season's struggles, he has tried to adapt. He's tried to maybe change the style of play a little bit. Do you almost maybe think he's trying to do a little bit too... Is he almost himself, game by game, trying to figure out the right way for Man City to get back to their best?
I mean, Sam, if you was Pep, wouldn't you do the same? Like, his greatest strength is he's an overthinker. He keeps innovating, and this is probably his biggest test at this moment in time. I do think at a point this season, probably before they lost the form, it looked like he found something. As James said, when you had Foden and all those players in the pockets, and then it's just kind of gone down the toilet once again. For me, football's decided at both ends. City can and will always score goals, but defensively, it can't just be on that back 5. It's the spaces, it's the following runners, it's the tactical...
I think it's the control as well. I think the Man City teams the best will just pass you to death.
Like, they don't pass you to death. You couldn't look after the boys.
You couldn't put a couple of passes together against them, let alone try and dominate, try and score goals. They used to just take a lead. You couldn't get anywhere near them. They'd pass you to death. They dominate games. This team, and that Fulham game was a great example.
Exactly.
Where they let games slip. And I mean,
they're lacking leadership on the pitch.
Do you think that's the problem of lacking leadership?
I think so, because as much as it's ultimately managers have to be held accountable. Pep Guardiola, we've just spoken about him, but the players, you lot are seasoned vets. You lot are either generational talents, played a lot of minutes for your country on a big amount of money, won a lot and done a lot either at City or elsewhere. The best players manage themselves, and I don't see that. Obviously, they haven't got Gundogan, they haven't got Kevin De Bruyne, or Diaz is out at the moment. I don't see any leadership with City, and I think I'm seeing the same thing week in, week out. I think the Fulham game where they won is the first one I was like, yeah, there's alarm bells here, they could be got at. Even against us, like, granted, we have beat City a couple of times and given them a game, but the way they kind of camped in their own half, the way they look disillusioned at the Emirates, I can't say I'm surprised. Obviously, I'm surprised because Bodo Glimt have done a madness, but I can't say I'm surprised that we're talking about this. Man City look the most beatable they've ever been in years, and the very fact that they're still in the title shout and everyone still expects them to hunt them down speaks testament of how good they are. But there's evidently got to be mentality issues. Like, everybody's played football, whether Sunday League or whatnot. They're going to have conversations in the change room, and they've probably, after today, they probably haven't conversations that they probably said against Fulham or several times. I think the best footballers are leaders, and I don't see anyone, whether they're the young players or the old players right now for City.
Can I suggest, though, that The Premier League this year is so interesting. Set piece is more important than ever before. I think we've had more 0-0s. I read that there's more 0-0s, I think, this season than there were last season and the season before, and we're just over halfway. I think what City's greatest strength has been, probably just this season, has been the football they play, how attacking they can be. But how many attackers, how many forwards right now in the league are thriving? Even Saka's being criticised, and I love the guy. Gyökeres struggling for form. Isak before his injury was struggling.
Salah this season.
Well.
What's that, sorry?
Salah this season.
And Foden and Shirky had a month, but that's kind of it. I think when you look across the board, Voltemade, although he made a good start, Elanga, there's so many who I think are struggling. Sesko, Cunha. I wonder whether what separates Arsenal from Man City right now is that there's a steal and a look. If we have a bad day, we're probably not going to lose. We're probably going to pick up a point. We're probably going to get a set piece to unlock a game. We're going to use our physicality to kind of bully ourselves into a position that Man City aren't finding themselves in, because technically teams are more organised than ever before. Teams are more physical than ever before. Yeah. Teams are very, very hard to beat. Hence the amount of 0-0s. I think City are coming up against sides that have the antidote. Like, how do you face this Man City side? You're organised, you're physical, you get stuck in. And that's why I think Arsenal are pulling away a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're actually spot on there.
There's always, there was questions about all of last season. There's going to be questions. I'm going through social media. People are talking about Pep's future, which is obviously going to feel inevitable. No, in terms of I don't think Man City. No. I don't think they're going to sack Pep Guardiola, are they, for obvious reasons?
Do you think that he regrets signing the 2-year extension?
I don't think he wanted to anyways, if I'm completely honest. And
why did he then?
Yeah. I genuinely think above board, because of what we've seen City this year and last year. I think, again, I don't know anyone, but I think the City board have said to him, listen, help us out a bit, stay for a bit.
Start the new cycle.
Yeah, while we find a replacement. I don't want to do the Arsenal thing, but had Mikel Arteta obviously not ended up at Arsenal, stayed in the coaching staff, maybe there would have been a new horizon. They were linked with Maresca, company, there's rumours there. I genuinely think there's that, because I look at a couple of their signings and it's like, you're not necessarily Pep signings. Are they planning for the future beyond him?
But I also thought last season, one of the main reasons why he wanted to stay on is because of how bad they were. I don't think Pep himself,
he's a competitor,
a winner, having that kind of winning mentality, would have wanted to have left Man City like he did last season in a real mess. Not challenging for a title. But then I wonder what he's going to find himself sort of in a similar situation, maybe come the end of this season.
If they win the league, he's definitely going to leave, in my opinion. Yeah. This is his longest tenure there is at any club as well.
There's that saying, isn't there? Just go out on a high. And I think that probably maybe if he had his time again, like after doing what they did and achieving what they did with that squad, I think that probably would have been a good time to bow out. And because the restructure and the new era of Manchester City then was about to start, I think it probably hit us harder because probably from when Rodri got injured and we saw the drop off, between the team and just mentality, and obviously just we were shocked at the level of Manchester City and how big that drop off was. But I think that probably you're just seeing a team that is being rebuilt, and we compare it to old teams of Manchester City. This is not the same team. They don't have the same caliber of players currently, don't have the same ideas. The league has changed as well. It's the same way that we compare Chelsea to what Chelsea were. They are a different club now. We just have to probably lower the expectations of what we think Manchester City can do. This isn't looking anywhere near a side that could go on a 10, 12, 15 unbeaten run. Like, this is just not it.
Do I fear it? Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely, I do.
Of course. It's all I want.
As a Liverpool fan, you have no idea how angry I am that you guys get up against this Man City team when we got 97 points and didn't win the league, which I still think is not fair.
Well, you weren't good enough.
I wonder.
Otherwise, you'd have won it.
No. All right, clever clogs. I wonder what two players Man City are going to sign tomorrow for £100 million to try and get themselves back in the title race. So not a good start to the night for the English teams in the Champions League. Man City losing 3-1 away at Bodo Glimt. Inter Milan Arsenal 8:00 start. Both teams to score in the Inter Milan Arsenal game is now evens with William Hill boosted from 4-6. Stake limits apply 18+ at gambleaware.org, and it's also Spurs Dortmund tonight, and there's still time to get on William Hill's price boost in that game. A goal to be scored in both halves is now evens, boosted from 8-13, 18+, gambleaware.org. Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals, brought to you by Final One Standing, new from William Hill, 18 plus, gambleaware.org. Terms and conditions apply. We're live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel and on your smart TV. Sam Ellard, Abby Summers, James Bayless, CJ the Deluded Goon are taking you through a busy night of football in the Champions League and the Championship. A massive result already this evening. Man City have lost 3-1 away at Bodo Glimt. Rodri sent off, 2 yellow cards in the space of a couple of minutes. A remarkable result. City lose again. Arsenal Inter Milan this evening. Spurs are home to Borussia Dortmund. Abby, have you got team news for us in the Spurs game? Some good news. Solanke starts, but that is a very young bench, isn't it?
That is literally it, by the way. I will give it to you. Hold on. Bear with. Didn't expect you to come to me.
Oh, I thought you'd be prepared, wouldn't you?
I wasn't. I actually wasn't.
You're kind of like literally here to represent Spurs.
I know,
as you have been for the last 18 months.
Sorry.
Honestly, you're barking orders at poor Marco, sending him to go and get you some sweets, and yet you can't even provide us with some basic Tottenham team.
I just thought you were doing the rounds. I thought we were going to talk about Arsenal. I just didn't think we were coming to me.
We've got some team news.
We've done Spurs Corner.
Spurs Corner.
But basically,
what an awful name that is, by the way.
I know, but that's Arsenal
for a segment
Corner.
Of Spurs Corner.
Spurs Corner.
It's not really a corner. Just you
Do you know what I
next
need to see? Spurs Corner flag. That's how we usually announce a sacking. That's how I need to see it. That's the graphic.
How would talkSPORT announce the Abby Summers sacking?
I don't know.
Would it just be you looking
just
a bit
a microphone?
Yeah, a microphone. Poor Abby.
How would you do it, Jay? Oh wow, that's okay. Anyway, back to could you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Team basically picks itself because we've got so many injuries and some are ineligible. So it's Vicario, Porro, Romero, Danso, Udogie, Mickey.
Slow down.
Yeah, well,
Goodness me.
Sorry, I was just running through
Romero, Danso.
Vicario, Porro,
So no Van de Ven tonight.
Romero, Danso, Udogie, because Mickey Van de Ven is suspended.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Then we've got no midfield other than Gray and Bergvall. That is the only option.
We have got midfield. You've got two.
It's actually only 2 our rate, to be fair.
Same.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Graham.
Because Sarr has only obviously just come back from AFCON.
I don't mind.
Basuma is ineligible.
Decent.
Conor Gallagher has not been registered.
Also, yeah, no.
Pellini's injured. Bentancur's injured.
That.
No, it's just that he can't be registered until after the group.
Fine. Cool.
Then we've got Odegaard, Simmons, Jed Spence. I think, based on this graphic, Jed Spence is playing as a winger.
Right. He's not a back five.
Sure.
Is he genuinely playing as a winger?
You know what? I think next time I'll just do team news, shall I?
I'm reading this to you.
This is.
Sorry, they put him as a
I think Jed Spence is going to play on the left hand side.
And up front, Solanke.
I'm also looking at this for the first time. I was looking at the bench before, and Solanke up front. And
Do you
then
know, for a split second, I thought, he's got some balance there. I quite like it. Yes. He said Jed Spence. Is there no one else who can play?
No, if I can refer you to the bench.
Yeah.
Kinski, Brandon Austin, another goalkeeper. Rosewell, defender. Byfield, defender. Hardy. Lucy, who has played in the Champions League for us, in the Europa League for us before. Williams Barnett, who's a midfielder who's actually really highly rated. Dane Scarlett, Kolomwani, Thompson, and Akramich. So it's basically all kids. And for context,
It's basically kids apart from Kolomwani, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the average age of the bench is 19 years old, and 2 weren't born to see the 2008 Manchester United Champions League win.
Oh, wow. So they're young, aren't they?
Yeah.
The Arsenal team, though, I'll do it for you, boys.
Yeah.
David Raya in goal. Timber, Saliba, that was awful. Mosquera, Lewis Skelly, the back four. Zubamendi will sit. Eza Marino, Saka, Gabriel Jesus, and Trossard. So that means... very good. So that means that the likes of Odegaard, Gabriel, Rice are on the bench. What do you make of that team, CJ?
I mean, we have to rotate a bit. As it's a double-edged sword because, you know, we're playing at the San Siro, we're playing into Milan. It's a big Champions League night. You want to get any little bit of momentum you potentially can going into the Man United game, and obviously shaking off a disappointing draw last game out. But for me, I'm not disappointed with that. I'm a bit shocked Mosquera started, but he's been on the bench couple minutes, couple times now, so I'm happy with that. Big chance for Miles Lewis Skelly. The midfield, I mean, the way Italian teams play, it's probably more suited to Marino, and Zubamendi and Marino have played together a lot of time. I'm happy to see Eze. We think we've been starved of that, but we're going to just have to get the job done. It's more than competitive, and they're going to have to raise their levels today, man.
We have a goal in the Championship. It comes at Portman Road. Ipswich are leading Bristol City by 1-0. Coventry top at 8 clear of third place. Ipswich, Bristol City are just outside the playoff places, 3 points off the top 6. And it's Jack Clark who's given Ipswich the lead. Nice place to be, isn't it, tonight, James? 6 from 6, absolutely cruising. Get the job done tonight, and I guess it means you can rest players for next week.
Yeah, I think win tonight basically does it, doesn't it?
I think I think 18 is going to get you in. But by my mathematics, was working out sort of the results in the last two games.
Quite hard to do, isn't it, with this new league phase? There's quite a lot of number crunching.
7th and 8th, they're going to be on 16 points. So I mean,
put it into ChatGPT, man.
Excuse me?
Put it into ChatGPT.
I've got it up here, mate.
Fair enough.
I can work it out myself in the head.
Fair enough, man. Super Sam and that.
Yeah, I think Arteta. Look, there's been some debate amongst Arsenal fans. Was he right to rest Trossard and Saka? Supposedly Saka had a slight problem, but then he brings them on, so you wonder how serious that was. This is for the Forest game, I mean. Now, my biggest issue with that would have been if he went super strong for Inter, basically full out best 11, but he hasn't. And I like that because I think what he's essentially saying is we're taking everything seriously, every game. We just have to manage the squad throughout January. Now, Forest, left a lot to be desired of some of that football we played. We weren't at our best. But tonight, whilst there's no pressure in terms of, the importance of winning or anything like that, there's certainly an opportunity to see how we do away at a top side, a side that got to the Champions League final last year, all brilliant, all being with the new manager, Kivu, a few new players doing something a bit different at times. But it's going to be a test, so let's see what we're about.
It was unlucky to lose there last year as well. So
I think we were too. I was at that
penalty
game
as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
a bit of a dodgy penalty, and we battered them second half.
Abby, as Arsenal fans go, and obviously you've got 30 seconds to answer this question. Are they two of your more favourite Arsenal fans?
Yeah,
they're both pretty level. I mean, I think
I know a lot of Arsenal fans, and James in particular. We've worked together before. Very calm, very level-headed. CJ, I have a lot of respect for you. Me and you love to argue with each other.
Thanks. That sounds like a backhanded compliment.
No, it's not.
I'll take any compliment from a sponsor.
I love with CJ that he just nibbles so easily. It's just he's starving all the time.
Arsenal's the love of my life. What do you expect me to do?
I know. You need to get another love.
But you don't really like this.
I do not have a problem with that. Look at his face. I'm the most handsome man the talkSPORT ever had. Definitely, Sam. I'm different, but yeah, I hear it.
Back
I'm
yourself.
in your Gyökeres. Relax. But anyways, football, please.
Do not call me Victor Gyökeres.
You are, man. Don't worry, man.
We're having one more break, then we got.
He's called you stiff.
No, I've also called him. I've called him Super Sam.
He's called you stiff.
Please, honestly, never ever call me Victor Gyökeres ever again.
You deserve that.
You've got better hair.
I thought that was good.
Yeah.
Back in a couple of minutes. Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals, brought to you by Final One Standing, new from William Hill, 18 plus, gambleware.org. Terms and conditions apply. It's Sam Ellard, Abby Summers, James Bayliss and CJ Vidaluda taking you through a busy night of Champions League action. 2 results already. Club Brugge winning 4-1 at Kairat, and then an incredible result involving Man City. Bodo Glimt beating Man City by 3-1. City found themselves 3 down. They had 10 men. They lose 3-1 away at Bodo Glimt. We got 7 games at 8 o'clock about to go underway in the Champions League. Arsenal away at Inter Milan. Arsenal's last victory away to an Italian side in the Champions League was back in March 2008. Since then, they failed to win on 5 straight trips, including last season when they lost at Inter Milan. Tottenham versus Borussia Dortmund, both sides on 11 points. By the way, 8th place, the final qualification place, is 12 points before a ball's kicked this evening. Borussia Dortmund have played more Champions League games against Spurs without winning than any other club, playing 4 and losing 4. Elsewhere, we got Copenhagen, Napoli, Olympiacos by Leverkusen, Real Madrid inside the top 8. Host Monaco. Madrid have lost just 1 of their 18 home games against French sides in major European competition. Sporting PSG in the top 8 in 3rd place. Sporting 14th, just 2 points off the top 8. It's the first ever European meeting between Sporting and PSG. And also we got Villarreal.
Oh, yeah. Already. Come on.
Villarreal versus chance for Arsenal.
And again.
There was a shot from Lewis Skelly blocked, and then there was a shot from Marino blocked. More on that shortly. We've had a couple of goals in the Championship already. 2 sides near the top of the table off the really good starts. Coventry, who are top, 8 clear at 3rd place. Ipswich and 6 clear at 2nd place. Middlesbrough hosting Millwall, who were 4th. Coventry leading by a 1-0. Millwall have failed to score in their last 3 Championship matches against Coventry and are 1 down this evening. Elsewhere, Ipswich, 3rd in the table, are 1 up at home to Bristol City. All 6 of the other games are goalless. Abby, talk to us about the magnitude of the game this evening. Spurs, Borussia Dortmund, all the pressure on Thomas Frank, and what sort of atmosphere is there going to be this evening inside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
Well, I can't imagine it's going to be a welcoming one if we go 1-0 down. I think that, like I said earlier, Champions League is kind of a different kind of fish for us because we're actually quite good with the home record. And I think it's 23 games consecutively unbeaten.
And even just this season in the Champions League, winning all 3 games without conceding a goal.
Hold on. Might have to change my answer in a second.
Well, Arsenal were through here as well. that was a really, really poor ball there, wasn't it? Timber got played down the right-hand side, found space, and his ball infield was a poor one. Back to a second, Abby. Only 90 seconds in.
Yeah.
I mean, James, this has been a...
Yes! Oh! Keep going, boys.
This has been an electric start from Arsenal.
Yeah, really high press, really aggressive, and a really interesting tactical tweak. He did this in the Cup as well, but he's gone Eze as the left 8 and Marino on the right 8, which it's a little thing, but I think it just platforms Eze a bit better, gets Marino playing in the areas he's been playing when he's come on the bench for Odegaard. We've been really, really aggressive. We've been stuck in, and we're trying to make a point here.
It's a bright start from Arsenal. Miles Lewis Skelly's shot is blocked on the edge of the box. Mikel Merino swinging the boot is also blocked. Dominic Solanke is making his first start of the season for Tottenham. That is a massive, a great positive for Tottenham, Abby.
Yeah, it is. And obviously it's a shame for Matisse Tell, who then had to be removed from the Champions League squad. Had to be a straight swap because actually he's been...
Do you know why it's been a straight swap?
I think it had to be. I think that's the rules. They had to be because they took out Dominic Solanke and put in Matisse Tell. They couldn't take someone else because I was questioning that as well. I was like, why would you take Tell out of it? Because he's actually been one of the more positive sparks. He's obviously not very happy. He's barely had that many starts this season. He got subbed off at the weekend as well. That reaction did not go down well with the fans. That was booed off. They wanted to see more of him, and apparently he wants to obviously go on loan. I think he's linked with Paris FC, but now Spurs are not going to allow that to happen. I mean, we've only got 11 outfield players available. That team that you see out there is the only fit options.
So who wants to go on loan?
Matisse Tell.
Really?
Well, he's not getting game time. Like
he should be.
He probably wants to go to the
honestly, he's one of your better players.
I totally agree with you. He look, I still don't feel like he warranted the move in the summer. I think it was a very typical Tottenham signing, like a guy that's been here on loan for a little bit, not done particularly much, and then you go and reward him with a contract. I think it's lazy from Spurs, but I do think that there is a talent there. It needs to be nurtured, and I don't necessarily think this is the right man to do that in terms of Thomas Frank. I don't think he can nurture it, I'll be honest. I was just reading something really, really interesting from Ron Walker at Sky, and he was doing a comparison of like Spurs' numbers compared to Brentford's numbers, and every single metric is basically down on what we had from last season, which is crazy anyway. I mean, the Brentford numbers were so much better. Yeah, basically, I understand the issues when it comes to we have got no attacking outlets. We haven't got very good players that are available. You're missing your best players in that. Anyone's going to suffer. Ange suffered, you know. It's hard. But from a man that had lost Ivan Toney for like 6 months from betting and had you know, Damsgaard and just...
Well, one of Thomas Frank's biggest plaudits, so kind of positive, was his adaptability. Before coming to Tottenham, you know, he'd be able to navigate different situations. So I've got sympathy for him on that injury list, but I still take a point, Abby, that doesn't mean that this form is acceptable.
No, I totally agree. Like that's what I was going to say. Like, as bad as that is, and as much as I would like to use it as an excuse, and I did for very large periods of time when it came to Ange in particular, because we were decimated by injuries this time last year as well, and obviously his focus completely shifted to the Europa League, and that's fine and that's fair. He could have adapted things, and maybe we wouldn't have lost 22 times. Maybe he would still be in the job. I don't know. Hindsight's a wonderful.
Chance for Tottenham! Oh, it's a massive, massive chance. It's really good play down the right-hand side, and a ball gets played across the edge of the box. You know, I thought it was going to be a simple tap-in, but they work it well. And just before the Spurs player could get on the end of it, it's a really good last-ditch block there from the Borussia Dortmund defender, and he goes out for a corner kick. But that was a really good, promising move from Spurs.
Yeah, it was. Look, once we start to break, like Xavi Simons again has not been at the level that we would have liked him to be. I can understand that it takes some time to adapt and come into the Premier League. I've always said I'll make my judgment on him at the end of the season, but you need more from these players. There wouldn't be so much emphasis on someone like Xavi Simons if you had the options of having Kulusevski in the 10 or having James Maddison in the 10. But it's all falling on him and just coinciding with everything. I just think that Thomas Frank is too cautious, too pragmatic. When you spend so much time on corners and you take so much time on throw-ins and stuff like that, I understand the league has obviously gone that way, but this isn't going to work like with how you're playing. And I know that this team, despite the fact we finished 17th last season where we just gave up on the league, I know this team is not as bad as it is. There is a good nucleus in there of young players. Someone like a Bergvall is great. I would hate to see Lucas Bergvall leave the club. I think that would be so incredibly sad. I think Archie Gray has got potential. I think Matisse Tell has got potential. I think Mickey van der Ven is a good player. I think Romero under the right coach could be more consistent and be a better leader for this football club. I think Conor Gallagher's a decent signing. I think there is definitely things about Tottenham, like Jed Spence, the rebirth of him in the last few years. There is definitely parts of this squad. Go on, Jed. There's parts of this squad that are not as bad as they are, and they're underperforming by themselves, and they are to blame for that. But it also coincides with the manager, and that is why I just believe a manager that is maybe more attack-minded would get better out of this squad.
Do you think he's too much of a nice guy, Thomas Frank? Obviously, you're not on the training front and whatnot, but he does seem like that way. It can go left at times. Everyone
in the media says he's a very nice person. In all honesty, like, I'm sure he is. I don't really care if he's nice or not. Like, some of the best coaches have probably not been the nice in the media. I care about you winning football matches and making my team good. And at the moment, they're nowhere near it. And I've always said the blame does not all fall on him. He doesn't become a bad coach overnight. Not a chance. I just think that this job is too big for him, and for some reason what he had and what he built at Brentford, which of course was over a long period of time, cannot be emulated, and you won't get the time to do that at a club like Tottenham. You just won't when you finish that.
To be fair, Brentford all sang from the same hymn sheet. And even the fact that their new manager, respectfully, Keith Andrews, I believe, he was a set piece coach. They lost their captain in Norgard and their star man in Mbuemo. I just think at times it's a bit of a cop-out from Spurs fans to just get at the manager. By all means, I don't disagree with anything you've said, but it goes back to when we were speaking about this earlier, in which James said, you've had Jose, you've had Conte, nothing's changed, essentially.
But nothing will change while the ownership is there, and I'm very aware of that. So if nothing is going to change,
the gaff has to go.
Then I would rather have a manager that I know we might lose games here and there, but at least I can see some consistency. Yeah. If I saw, even going back to like the Chelsea game, I was appalled at the performance against Chelsea.
Yeah, that was bad.
I was having arguments on the train home from the game, literally with Spurs fans being like, no, he's got injuries, you've got to give him time, blah, blah. But it was the Arsenal game that tipped me over the edge, because when I saw the spinelessness and then weak mentality of that team, of that selection, having the player that you were going to sign in Eze, you know, hat trick on your head top, like that can't run. Like it's not happening.
I hear it.
So there are things that he could have done, I think, to endear himself more to the fans and have a connection.
What was it Postecoglou said? I think he said something like season 2 is always better. It's the realest thing I've heard connected to Spurs.
Season.
What if the players aren't as good as you think? And I'm not
I don't think they're great. I think
no, I know, and I'm not. By the way, I'm not saying they're bad, but I'm just asking the question, like, what if you had Ange, very attacking manager, appalling last season? You have Frank, a much more pragmatic manager, appalling last season. And then you have to go back a few years, it's a different group with Conte, to be fair. This is great for...
Hit it, unlucky. Yes! He's on top. He's definitely on. Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus gives Arsenal the lead. Arsenal play lovely one-touch football on the edge of the Inter Milan box. It falls to Saka on the right-hand side, who gets the shot away, and then he kind of scuffs the shot, doesn't he, a little bit?
I think it's
Timber, sorry.
Yeah, I think
he scuffs the shot, and then to Gabriel Jesus, he has to react really quickly to that, kind of sort his feet out, and he does that really well. Zuv Mendy plays the ball to Eze. Lewis Skelly comes in field. Eze plays it to Jesus. Marino to Lewis Skelly. And Timber scuffs the shot. And then Gabriel Jesus, really good instinctive first time finish into the back of the net. And you guys have started this game off really well and deserve that lead.
Much better team. Defensively, we've been all over them, really aggressive. We're also going really man-to-man. So you've got Zuv Mendy pulling out to the left at times. You've got Saka in field. So Arsenal really trying to follow them around the pitch because they are a possession-based side under Kivu. Yeah,
is this a different, like, I don't, Arsenal normally, you like to keep possession, you like to kind of control. This feels like a really aggressive, energetic Arsenal style. I don't remember seeing you guys be this kind of in teams faces so early on in games. Sometimes there's sometimes there's combination. So Jesus is a player who links the play. That makes everything feel more fluid. You've got Eze, who is a bit more... He looks forward more than Ødegaard. Now, respectfully, I actually love Ødegaard. He doesn't play that pass like that. The Eze pass that he punches through the lines and then... Well, you think he tries to be a bit more kind of
safe? I think he goes wide, yeah.
Really,
I think he recycles possession. I don't
think a bit more of a braver kind of number 10.
In my opinion, it's not to say Ødegaard can't do it. I think Eze... His first thought when he gets the ball is, how can I get this forward? How can I get to goal? Whereas Ødegaard, I don't think like that, which is why I think they could actually complement each other quite well.
Just like against Portsmouth.
Trossard as well, yeah. And Trossard, brilliant in possession. Lewis Skelly, you see him in the pockets, he can pick up. There's just... It's like you've brought the top of the pitch closer. You've got Eze in the pockets, made things happen. You brought Lewis Skelly in, and you can play that kind of football because players are closer together.
Do you think Victor Gyökeres scores that goal?
Yeah. If he's in the box, yeah.
Do you think, but that's
not today. He doesn't. At his best, he doesn't.
Yeah. But I'd say that he kind of watching him.
No, I think maybe at the start of the season, but I think he's lacking confidence and doubting everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Whereas Jesus is playing with a springless step.
That's a real kind of instinctive, really good centre forward.
Ain't that the same thing against Chelsea? Essentially, just getting the right place at the right time. That's our issue with Gyökeres. For that moment, no one could convince me Gyökeres wouldn't be in the box. But he looks shocked of confidence, and I'm sure we'll discuss Gyökeres. The biggest thing with me, as much as we talk about centre backs and low blocks and all of these kind of things, get your confidence back. And he needs to be a bit more savage, a bit more demanding, a bit more hungry, a bit more nasty. I think, and I can never understand. Gyökeres.
But can I say that's also true of Jesus?
It's 100%, but we know this with Jesus. The man's been here for years. Like I'm shocked Jesus scored. I'm not really shocked with our start because it does feel like we've been at our attacking best in the Champions League this season. Is that because of how European teams set up? I don't know. In relation to what you meant about our press, we do tweak it. Sometimes we kind of go all the way. Sometimes we more wait for you to set in areas. With Eze, I think he just said, Arteta's just said, what, let's gamble. Let's not do the Ødegaard thing where we wait for them to get into certain zones. Lovely stuff.
What have you made of Eze's start overall to his time at Arsenal?
It started well. I think personally, I know there's a lot of rumours about Arteta's not feeling him and things like that. He let the team down against Aston Villa. Name me a footballer of any club that hasn't made a mistake in their life, really. I think with Eze, it's been more moments. Like when I was speaking to Crystal Palace supporters, they did say he's more of a moments man. I just think he needs to turn it on a bit. But to be fair to him, he is adapting to a new system and things of that ilk. At the end of the day, like, we've got a good 11, we've got a good squad. If it's not him, it's Ødegaard. So he's going to have to take chances like this. I'm a bit shocked that he was kind of frozen out, but yeah, man. Us.
Abby, take it away.
Can you calm down as well, please? Losing your
It's
head.
almost like she's disappointed that her team have scored a goal.
Oh no!
Abby,
Another
the
week
floor
of
is
Thomas
yours.
Frank. Come on.
It's just a shock to me, you know. I'll be honest, Tottenham have been a lot more positive in this game. No wonder she's absolutely buzzing. She hasn't seen anything so great in all this time.
And your favourite player as well, leading from the front,
Christian
Abby.
Romero. Do you know what? Maybe all it took was for me to slag him off on Saturday's show, for him to stop playing okay. I don't know. Look, it's coming from a corner again. Actually, hold on, no, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does come from a corner, which gets flicked onto the near post, then comes to the back post, and there's a really good ball that gets played back into a dangerous area. And to be fair to Christian Romero, gets himself in a really good position. And you talk about good finishes.
Yeah.
It comes to him quite quickly. He's got bodies in front of him, and he scores from what, maybe 6 yards out. But that's a really nice finish.
It is a nice finish. And do you know what? One of our biggest things this season has been our defenders not being so great defensively, but they've been very good offensively. So when your players are not delivering up front, we've looked at Romero, we've looked at Mickey van der Ven to help us out, which again is so. It's great to have your players pop up in those positions, but really...
Talking of goal scorers, do you know before tonight who Spurs is leading goal scorer? In fact, it still is.
I do know.
Go on.
Own goal.
The own goal.
The own goal.
3 own goals Spurs have had scored for them this season in the Champions League. That's more than any other side. But Abby,
it's a lot more front-footed tonight. It's a lot more positive. I think from what I can imagine, it started quite nervy, like before kickoff,
which is understandably given the fact the Spurs fans are on the team and on the manager.
Look, all Spurs fans want to see is the team actually fighting for it, and the team front-footed, and the team trying to do something and be more positive. If you do that and put in performances, they will be on you. You just got to give Spurs fans something. You know, they were happy to back them against West Ham in that second half because they looked a bit more on it. Show a little bit, try and drive the ball a bit more forward, try and be front-footed and play a forward pass, and the Spurs fans in the stadium will be there to support you. They might not like Thomas Frank and they might still boo it, and that's absolutely fine by me, but they will not get on the players' backs as long as they are being positive. Don't expect them to play the Spurs way at this moment in time, not under this manager, but you've got to give something. Just give a little bit of positivity, and they've done that in the first 15 minutes.
Do you want to hear some more good news? Despite your awful start to the season, as things stand, and there's got lots of football to be played tonight and tomorrow, Spurs are 5th in the current live Champions League table, which means, I guess, there are only 4 better teams than you across Europe. There's about, 13 better teams than you in the Premier League, but so far so good for Tottenham in the Champions League. So we are, 15 minutes in to our Champions League games this evening.
Do you know what
go on, Abby.
would be the Spursiest thing in the whole world, right?
Go on.
If we, again, finished 17th and then got to, Champions League final. I'm just saying.
Wishful.
Yeah, that is wishful thinking, isn't it?
Happened.
You never know. Stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have happened.
15 got Arsenal leading 1-0 at Inter Milan. Gabriel Jesus scoring early on for Arsenal. If Arsenal win this game, they will set their longest ever winning streak in the European Cup Champions League with 7. Olympiacos are leading by Leverkusen by a goal to nil. It would be a big 3 points for Olympiacos, who are outside of the top 24 by Leverkusen, a winless in their last 3 away major European trips to Greece. Real Madrid have a goal against Monaco, and Kylian Mbappe, back facing his former side, scored a lovely goal for Real Madrid, a finish from just outside the box into the bottom right-hand corner. Real Madrid 1, Monaco 0. Real Madrid have lost 2 of their last 3 Champions League matches, but do start the evening inside the all-important top 8 places. And as Abby mentioned there, Spurs are leading Borussia Dortmund by a goal to nil. There's been some goals in the Championship. Derby 1 up at Charlton. Derby have only won 3 of their last 22 Championship away games against London sides. And Millwall start the day 4th in the Championship, have equalised against Coventry. Top of the table, Coventry 1, Millwall 1. 3rd place, Ipswich still leading Bristol City by a goal to nil. Other goals this evening, Swans leading Blackburn by a goal to nil. And Norwich, who start the evening inside the bottom 3, are 1 up against West Brom. The Hawthorns are having an awful season. Ryan Mason, of course, sacked West Brom 19th in the table. Norwich are winless in their last 4 league visits to West Brom, but lead this evening by a goal to nil. All the other games are goalless. CJ, what have you made of Arsenal's first 18 minutes at Inter Milan?
As James said, we did all well. Cut the track. Boy,
great defending that is, by the way.
Mascara. Loved. I'll answer your question as soon as we deal with this. Please, Zubimendi. I was just about to say we started very well in the first 10 minutes. It started to feel like Inter Milan have woken up. I'm not gonna doubt the boys, but we've played into their hands. We've fallen asleep defensively there. It's game on.
Inter Milan 1, Arsenal 1. It's a wonderful, wonderful finish from outside the box. It was initially Thuram that got played through one-on-one. Mosquera made a really, really good last-ditch tackle. Arsenal don't clear. And then from just outside the box, it's a wonderful first-time finish into the roof of the net, beating David Raya. Inter Milan 1, Arsenal 1. James, how could you guys have defended that better?
Lovely goal.
Mosquera, that's actually a few really good moments he's had with last-minute blocks. I think he did one about a minute or two before, and he's looked good on the ball. He needed a bit of help there. I don't know if Miles could get across and help a bit better to ensure that pass isn't there to Thuram, but that probably feels a bit harsh. I also think it's just like a really great finish. To be fair.
Great finish, man.
Yeah, although it's not like proper top corner, but I don't think Raya did anything wrong there. He hit it with good power. Look, we made a good start, but Inter Milan found a way to get through us a few times, and they've scored. I don't think there's too much that's really gone wrong there. They're a good side, and they've scored a good goal.
It's game on.
Yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful finish from the Inter Milan number 8 right into the roof of the net. Abby, what's happening here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? There's a possible penalty check for Tottenham Hotspur. It's Bellingham who's involved.
Yeah, I would love to say I was looking at that, but I was actually watching the Arsenal.
Okay, no, honestly.
To be honest, but they're checking for a penalty.
Urgency, lads.
Eza there with a shot from inside the box, which takes a deflection. There is a possible handball shout.
Just on the line.
It's Bellingham just on the edge of the box. The ball comes at him quite quickly. My first guess there, Abby, is that his right arm to me looked like it was in a fairly natural position there.
Yeah, we have seen them given for probably around those things in the Champions League. Their rules are completely different. I wouldn't be surprised if they did give that. Harsh, but
With penalties and handballs,
they've not given it.
Well,
which is good.
they'll give it.
The referee here is checks over is not a penalty kick. And
you never actually know these days what they're going to do.
No, I agree. But I thought that was whatever threshold you want to look at. I thought that was definitely the right decision. There was a ricochet and it came towards Bellingham quickly. His right arm was in a complete natural position. There's a long ball play forward here. There was a chance there for Guirassy, who I thought if he could sort his feet out a little bit quicker would have been through on goal, but it remained Spurs 1, Borussia Dortmund 0. Back to the Arsenal. That was a little bit against the run of play, wasn't it, James?
They were, CJ's right. They were building into that, though. They just had a few moments that they got in behind with to do a bit of last-ditch defending. I haven't loved the positioning of our centre-backs. I think individually they're getting stuck in. Mosquera's made some good blocks, and Lewis Kelly's, in the walls, and everyone's trying. But I think you can tell missing Gabriel, pulling Rice out of there. And also it's a really minor detail, but I think we've just played with the press a little bit, with Marino out to that side and Eze more on the left. I think everyone's just not quite sure who to pick up. We're playing against an unfamiliar formation.
Vicario has just had a ball gets played to Vicario. He's not far off being in the goal, and he can't sort his feet out. He's so fortunate that doesn't end up in the Tottenham net.
Dilly-dallying.
That is just... awful goalkeeping there. You don't want that in any situation, let alone sort of the pressure that Spurs are on. But that, he just didn't sort his feet out quick enough, did he, Abu?
No, just dilly-dallying on the ball and then unnecessarily just kicking it out. Like, it's just, we do criticise this. Honestly, this is like Vicario anti-club. Like, we're not very nice about Vicario.
I don't like shouty goalkeepers, boys. I don't like goalkeepers that want to shout.
Like, just...
I don't like goalkeepers who moan about everything.
Yeah.
Or just...
don't be a bang average goalkeeper. And then, just go and shout at young Archie
when he just, screamed in Archie Gray's face for no reason.
It was like...
when Onana screamed at Maguire in a friendly.
Yeah, I do remember that. I like how things turned out for Andre.
If you're a great goalkeeper, then fairs. But if you're Vicario, then just shut up.
Like if you really feel the need to shout to someone, fine. But I think overall, isn't your point as a goalkeeper to be a calming presence, a calming influence, making everyone in front of you feel safe. And I just think he punches, he pushes. He's very, very flappy.
Very flappy. Just no.
Maybe that's something else that the Tottenham hierarchy can have a look at. Maybe.
I'm liking Jed a little bit higher up.
Oh, he's done well here. He's broken through down the left-hand side. A cross goal into the box. Can Spurs get the shot away? They can. Pedro Porro is blocked, though, by a Borussia Dortmund player. And Borussia Dortmund are going to clear. But this has been a really, really positive start, Abby, for Spurs.
Might be the best wing play I've actually seen us have all season, which is...
And that's not a good thing in this Jed Spence, right?
Not really. I like Jed, and you can play him further forward. But, this is the most... It's genuinely the most I've seen a winger do this season, to be honest with you. Because even with Kudus wasn't really playing to his best because we weren't allowing him to. He wasn't doing what he likes to do, which is cut in. He was just up and down, not really having anything to do. And obviously we worked him into the ground. What I'm seeing with Jed is actually taking someone on, moving the ball. I haven't seen anyone be direct in such a long time. So, I'm enjoying it so far.
Oh, goodness me. Sorry, Monaco with such a good chance there to equalise against Real Madrid. The ball got played from the left-hand side into a dangerous area from a couple of yards out. The Monaco midfielder runs onto it and he scuffs his shot and it goes over the bar. That remains Real Madrid 1, Monaco 0. A couple of goals in the Championship. Preston v Hull 6th versus 5th. Hull are leading 1-0 at Preston. Liam Miller scoring the goal. Hull have only lost one of their 7 league meetings with Preston. And an equaliser for Blackburn away at Swansea. Swansea 1, Blackburn 1 in that game in the Championship. They're about 5 or so minutes away from half time. Miles Lewis-Skelly is an interesting one, isn't it? He's sort of fallen quite down the pecking order, CJ, this season. Did that surprise you?
No, because at the end of the day, this is the reality of playing for a massive football club. You know, obviously, I'm probably the president of the Miles Lewis-Skelly fan club. But how good do you think he is, and how good what level can he get to? I think he didn't initially, based off last season, he didn't put a foot wrong at left back. Obviously, he's young, he needs to get better. He can be naive defensively. But if anyone, like for Arsenal fans, we actually have slightly tweaked the way we play at left back as well. So that's kind of harmed him in terms of build-up play. That's the one kind of positive he has. I'm not being funny, but you've brought in Hincapié, you know, and literally an invincible from Leverkusen and an international footballer at that, and Calafiori ain't put a foot wrong. I kind of like it because it gives Miles Lewis, it kind of not bringing you back down to earth, but you had such a great rise, it brings you back down to earth, and indirectly, like, you're allowing these kids to be kids, because I do think Arsenal Football Club at times, we've done that thing where we've kind of living or dying by young players' performances. So I kind of think he's in the role that he probably should be in. Grab your spot when you get an opportunity. If you want.
They're now checking for a possible red card in the Spurs-Borussia Dortmund game. There was a yellow card given. Oh, Abby, Svensson got given a yellow card.
Yeah,
and now the referee is going over to have a look at the monitor. I take you didn't see this either, did you?
Nope.
No. Like, just a shout. It's a rogue shout. It'd be useful.
Oh, that's
it's Svensson, number 24. Is that on Odeberg?
Yeah, that is.
That's who you should be gone, man.
His left foot is high. Oh, that's a red card, I think. His left foot, he goes for a slide tackle on Odeberg. He doesn't get the ball. And the left foot catches Odeberg quite high up on the leg. I think that is dangerous play, and I think that's going to be given as a red card, Abby.
Yeah, for me, that's definitely a red.
It's a red. Can I just suggest, though, the only thing I'll say, he's trying to prod the ball. Like, he's not trying to make a tackle.
Okay.
So James, is this similar to the Dallo one then? On the weekend, because Dallo tried to...
I think Dallo, the City player, clearly had possession and he was trying to nick it off him. He caught him on the knee.
It's going to be a red card.
And by the way, correct decision. I'm not disagreeing with it. I just think it's one of those. Do you remember? I think it was in a Tottenham-Liverpool game. There was
Simmons from Van Dijk.
Yes.
Yeah, I felt. You think, I feel a bit sorry for them. They're clearly not meant to. It's clearly not a
when he went down
tackle.
the back of
it's just
Van Dijk,
you caught them high. Yeah. But yeah, sometimes look, you catch something like that, you're going to.
I don't think the intent's there to try and catch him halfway up his leg, but.
I don't think anyone tries to do
I know.
that.
But some can be reckless and stupid with a tackle. I don't think that was like a stupid tackle. I think that was trying to reach for the ball, and the Tottenham player's got in front first, and he's caught him really high.
I couldn't believe that the Dallo one wasn't given.
Really?
I really couldn't. I feel like if that is other players in the league, that is given.
If that's a smaller game, it's given.
Yeah, I really could not believe that was given. We've seen them carbon copies of it given in other games, and I was shocked.
To be fair, first time I didn't actually think it was, but when I saw the replay, I thought, the Lord's got away with one there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I think it's quite high. I think it producer Jamie saying to me it's not a red card. Do you think maybe he catches them high? But do you think maybe there's? Yeah, that's a good shout. No, Jay, I think
every angle shows something different.
Jamie says there's not enough force, and I think he catches him high. But I do agree. I don't think he does him like that.
I don't. Yeah, he's not clattered him. But
Inter Milan got a chance here.
We're in trouble. Mosquera, stand up. Just stand up. Just block the shot. Thank you.
Mosquera has been phenomenal today.
We
love
you.
Today.
30 million quid, James.
What a player.
Inter Milan break. And it's almost like, who's that that carries the ball? Is that Barella who carries the ball? He carries it for a long time. I thought he was going to get a shot away. He plays it then to Thuram on the right-hand side inside the box. And his shot's a poor one, isn't it, from a tight angle? He tries to beat Ray at his near post. But I think Inter Milan should be I think they should probably be a bit more clinical there.
Yeah, we're lucky. We're very fortunate that we have not conceded a second there, really. But as we've seen, we started well. Inter started to grow into the game. It is worrying me because obviously this is football. You are going to lose the ball and get hit on the counter. It's literally an end-to-end sport. But we are kind of leaving ourselves a lot of space in behind, and it's gonna bite us on the arse if we're not careful.
Compare this to the Forest game.
Oh, it's way better.
But what I mean is, Forest, we weren't conceding those chances because we're just not committing forward like that. In this game, we're clearly trying to show a bit.
What do you prefer?
No, I think this is right. I think in the context of the league, after City lost, I think losing at Forest would have been terrible. So I don't think you have to do everything to win that game. But you want to be on the front foot, maybe a little bit more than we were. With this game, nothing to lose. Have a go. So I think Arteta's probably got it right in terms of the tempo for both.
Yeah, that's something that my team in Liverpool are struggling with. It was like the first kind of third of the season, Arne Slot was playing very attacking football when he was so open defensively, and now it's like he's gone the complete other way, where we're being really kind of a little bit more sensible, a little bit more watchful, looking more solid defensively. But from an attacking point of view, we're struggling big time to break teams down, to score goals. It's like he's just really struggling to find that balance of being able to attack, but also be solid and be compact, right?
Don't you think throughout the whole league, though, just Premier League wise, like everyone is not that creative? I feel like the whole season it's just been flipped completely. Like
that's what I said about City, absolutely. Like, it's harder than ever.
But yeah, just to be creative and like this,
there's no space in the Prem.
No. How many forwards are on form? I saw Anthony Gordon hasn't scored a goal from over a year.
Yeah,
like he's a good player, Anthony Gordon. What are we doing here?
I don't know.
This is unbelievable.
I don't know whether or not it's the level, the quality of the attackers. Like from years gone by, I don't know. But just generally, the league is a lot more.
I think out of possession teams. Are really,
every manager's
on
micro-managing now.
Really good. If you look at even the way we beat Bayern Munich in that game. We were on the front foot, we created loads of chances, but how did we create it? By being aggressive on the press and running all over them.
Yeah.
We weren't tick-attacking our way around. Because
I like that, mate.
Right, one more time. To a new phrase, man.
Yeah, there we go. We
tick-attacker. I guess if you're doing it, we're tick-attacking, right?
Tick-attack. Yeah, sure. We'll go with it. There we go.
Mate, just own it. Say it quickly.
Say it with
we weren't tick-attacking our way through Bayern Munich. We were running all over them. We were dominating them on set pieces. It's just our league has gone more in that direction.
Yeah.
And maybe teams in Europe at times are struggling to deal with that at times.
Well, that's why our best performance has been in Europe so far. The Bayerns, the Atleticos currently now in terms of attacking play.
Yeah.
Right. Systemic football in the Prem.
You guys must be loving life, right?
Well, let's wait till May.
What do you know?
How old are you, CJ?
30.
How old are you, James?
Same.
You said that quite quickly there.
I should be enjoying this more.
Why aren't you enjoying it?
Fair.
It is fair.
But isn't that part of being a football fan? You enjoy the journey along the way, right?
How did you feel as a Liverpool fan last year?
Chilled, surely.
No, because we're not having two dissimilar seasons, really.
Well,
You must have felt good. You ran away with it.
yeah,
essentially.
certainly. I think
Not by this point of the season.
No, maybe
not by
more
this
kind of
point.
like
We were
February,
still-
March
We were
time
still
we
that
did,
8th,
yeah.
9, not
They'd won the
quite.
league by Feb. Come on.
One
I
of the-
never quite felt you were going to.
One of the weird things about
We'll
last
see how I feel in Feb.
One of the weird things for us last
They
season
have.
was that it did feel quite like almost just comfortable towards the end. Like the last kind of dozen games didn't feel like there was a great deal on it because you guys kind of just weren't putting enough pressure on us. And
Limped over the line.
I do wonder, are you guys going to be in a still like?
Well, when Tarkowski equalised in the 96th minute, when
Yeah.
you drew at Villa 2-2, when I remember before we went to the Etihad, we had to beat West Ham at home. We didn't, but had we, it'd have been 5 points, and that was the end of Feb. So was there a point where you guys were thinking,
score! Gabriel Jesus
getting a double. Yes.
"What a player"? Never doubted.
Oh, never died. We always believed in you, Jesus. We're shameless.
Abby, how they scored it? What from?
What were we saying?
Corner
about
boys
set
in the
pieces?
building.
And
Set
just
piece again, ole,
dominating
ole, right?
Yeah,
Hey, they all
exactly.
count, don't they, CJ? They all count, mate.
They mocked us, and now everybody's happy to score from them, man. Hated it, but never.
I have to say, mocking a team for being good at scoring goals felt like a rogue thing for people to do. Right?
That's what you
it's
do
the
with Arsenal.
Saka corner,
Shout
and that's Trossard who makes a run to the back post, heads it
Lovely,
across goal. It comes off the bar, and then Gabriel Jesus is in the
What are they
right place at
complaining
the right
about?
time.
I don't know. Who
They
cares
can-
about the football?
They complain about something. Well done, Gabby.
They should
Well
be
done.
complaining about the lack of defending.
Yeah, terrible.
They should
Yeah,
complain
like-
about the fact that Gabriel Jesus is unmarked 2 yards
There's
out,
two
able to
players
head
there,
home
exactly.
into the back of the net.
One of the smallest men has actually kept the corner alive. Like, what are you looking at the offside? The
Just
linesman
say,
for?
we're
Crazy.
so good at them, aren't we?
Yeah, we're amazing.
Like,
shout Nicholas Hover.
Genuinely, Nicholas Joven, the work he's doing from an attacking perspective, I think defensively we're still a bit
Yeah.
shaky sometimes. But I've never known a team like this on set pieces.
No.
Now, some people might talk about, I don't know, Chelsea's of old or other teams in fine, but
nothing compared to this.
Not
James.
on-
I've never known a team on
This,
set pieces.
this
like
is this what we've seen this season with set pieces is scary.
It's years
It's
as well.
freakish, and but we're what? How are we? 18 months into this kind of thing, and like no team has got any idea on how to stop it.
Because you know why? The hardest thing to do in football is to stop the second ball. Just like you saw with
I've got a
Trossard.
stat for you. Let me find it.
amazing.
It was in my research the other day.
Get the stats out.
Get the
James.
stats
Let's go.
out.
No, because I had to do some number crunching on this.
go.
You
So-
can't. You actually can't fault them.
So we,
for it.
in our 26 wins, I think we've scored 17. In our 26 wins for this game, we'd scored 17 goals from set pieces. That were the opening goal.
Really,
Come on.
Yeah. And in the draws and defeats, so when we've dropped points or failed to win, we haven't scored a single set piece, not as an equaliser, not as a... So I did a video the other day and I said, people...
Good plug. Get it in. Where can they find it? No, come on. Where can they find it?
Universe, please subscribe.
I like the name.
But it's a clever name, isn't
Very
it?
cool.
Yeah. We're happy with that name. But I basically said, people, we might be a set piece FC. Embrace it.
What, you've only just realised that?
No, but I think we pushed back like we're more than that. I think we are more than that.
You're not.
But we are.
We are.
And this is why you ruin it for us. This is why we can't just enjoy Nicholas Jova and his magic. Because you make us feel awful about it.
No, not at all. It's a cheat code. Credit where it's due. You're very, very good at it, and you should use it.
When we were saying I like tennis, who likes tennis?
Yeah,
when Wimbledon's on.
Well, Abby's actually come dressed like she's about to play Wimbledon. Isn't she?
Fair play. Australian Open going on right now. Brilliant. Now,
Raducanu going to win it?
Sure, why not?
No, she's a Spurs fan. I'm sure. Forget that.
She won't win it.
But it reminds me of when Federer was love 40 down, he'd hit 4 aces. Like, it's a cheat code. It's like the opposition can't do anything about it. No. When the delivery's that good, when you're that structured, everyone's good in the air, everyone's taller and more powerful than you, there's actually nothing you can do about it. Same like a good serve in tennis, you just go, all right, fair play. You hit the corner with pace, I can't do anything about it.
And again, the second ball.
To master that is it's been a huge thing for us this season.
Can I say one thing about set pieces? And I'm not trying to say that I know how to stop your set pieces, because I don't. They're very difficult. The one thing that I find really surprising is still how I'll wait for that.
Love that Skelly. Right, unlucky.
I still can't believe how weak goalkeepers are at set pieces.
Yeah.
Like, we're 18 months into Arsenal being really good at the delivery, so important, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And I find it mad that these goalkeepers, most of them are pretty big, and they all, CJ, they're more interested in trying to push the guy in front of him, and they're almost trying to look for a free kick. I know it's easier said than done, but I still think goalkeepers pretty much know where the ball's going to go. I can't believe some of them are not stronger and more braver, that I'm going to just go and clatter, okay? Instead of trying to hold hands with the person. Oh, sorry about that. Trying to hold that sounded quite great.
Try that again.
That sounded like it hurt.
Are your nails okay? Instead of trying to grapple with the person next and hug the person and then go down like that. You know roughly where the ball's going to go, anticipate it, be strong, come and clatter, go through bodies instead of trying to win a foul. Is that too simple just to do?
Well, it probably is a bit too simple to put it that way, but I definitely agree that they could do more. And I think this is where Arteta and the recruitment team deserve massive, massive, massive credit for the signing of David Raya. Now, we often talk about, managers being ahead of their time and spotting trends that are to come. Now, it's too early to say whether Arteta's done that kind of thing in this league, but we have been building for a few years to be ready for a league in the way it is now, more ready for set piece, things like that. When you look at Raya, a lot of people are saying he's not a better shot stopper than Ramsdale. Ramsdale's quite good on the ball, but Ramsdale did some good stuff. He had some big games at Tottenham, at Liverpool. He had some really big games.
There were also some bad games towards the end of one of your title challenges.
That was more in possession, but you're right. There were some shaky moments. But what Raya brought was an air of calm. So when that ball goes into the box, you're not asking Saliba and Gabriel to head it out and be dominant. You ask them to step 5 yards forward so that Raya can go, thank you very much. Yeah. And so often he's been a bailout for that. And I don't see many keepers in the league
Great point.
that are that good at that.
I think goalkeepers just being able to catch a ball is probably is an underrated good flex,
man.
Saka!
Cuts
in
I think he did the right thing.
No, how could you do the right thing? You didn't hit the target.
I think he did the right thing.
The shot was inviting, but there's a option to your left and the right. How on God's green earth is that the right thing for someone who is a great player?
I think the idea was right, but the execution was wrong.
Wait till they show the gaffer's reaction. Well, the execution's wrong, then it's the wrong decision. Pass the ball, trust us in. Of course I can say I saw what I saw.
He should have shot there, but the shot should have been better.
Yeah, that's what I think.
He's entitled to shoot, but you have an option on the left. The hardest thing to do in life and football is to play a simple ball. Ref, that's a foul on Mascara as well, but okay, we'll get that.
Shot for Spurs! They score!
Thomas Frank, what a manager.
Yeah, and they wanted him out.
Abby, this is the turnaround.
No, don't be...
No foul, Skelly. Love that.
This is a big night in Europe. And Tottenham are turning it around.
And Tottenham, as things stand, are inside the top 8 of the Champions League. And Abby will be a popular goal scorer because we haven't seen too much of Dominic Solanke, have we, this season? And just from a couple of yards out, he puts the ball into the back of the net. I know it's still very early, but where, Abby, has this desire, work rate and intensity been all season from Tottenham Hotspur?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I think, like I said, Jed Spencer's been our man of the match, by the way, by a country mile so far. But everyone seems to just be singing off the same hymn sheet going forward. I don't know whether or not Thomas Frank has said, well, do you know what? Just go out there and do what they're telling you to do in terms of what the fans want to see, which is front foot attacking football. I don't know if the board have told him to do it and just say you need to lay off with his pragmatism. Yeah. But this has been by far the most. Well, I don't know how much like you know about that, but we'll take it.
It's one of the most. So the ball gets. It's a really nice move down the right hand side. Nice 1-2. Odeberg gets played in. Ball across the face of goal, and Dominic Solanke takes. I think it bounces off his knee, leg, ankle, big toe.
He doesn't.
But
care.
He won't care. It goes in the.
We
back
won't
of the
care
net.
either. To be honest with you, none of us care how it goes in as long as it goes in. And yeah, look, it's been. Look, they're down to 10 men, Dortmund as well, and I don't know how bad Dortmund must be or how bad the Bundesliga is.
They're second in the Bundesliga.
15. What was it? 15 points.
Long way. I think. Long way behind Bayern.
I'm starting to question the quality of the Bundesliga, to be honest with you, but I will absolutely take it. It means nothing in terms of Thomas Frank. Really, what we need to see is what we're like in the Premier League. Like I said, we've got a good record in Europe, but the positives of this is that we are playing attacking football, and if you play attacking football, you will score goals.
Can it be the start, though, Abby, of a turnaround? Or do you think it's become untenable in terms of fans turning on him? Like, is there any way back, do you think?
It would be the...
Goodness me, it should be 3. Xavi Simons has a shot from inside the box, snatches at a loose ball, left foot to shot, goes way over the bar. Should really be 3-0.
It would be some turnaround if Thomas Frank could do it. Yeah. I mean, he spoke about it the other day. He said it's like a super tanker, didn't he? And we're on the right direction. And
it's the what, sorry?
He said it's like turning a super tanker, which I think is a boat.
I don't know what a super tanker is.
It is a boat, like a big ship, like Titanic. Yeah?
Right. I don't know.
This is what he said the other day. He said it's like a super tanker and we're turning it around to go in the right direction, and it is going in the right direction. Obviously, Spurs fans and the media, we all have eyes, we all watch TV, we all watch the games, we all can see what we can see, right? So by an eye test, nobody would think that Tottenham are doing well or there's been any progress. You can only say what you see. If there's stuff going on that we don't know about and everyone behind the scenes is all putting in the right direction and the team love him, then great. I don't think anyone has said that or we've got that impression. If he turns it around, good luck to the guy. Happily sit here and say thank you, prove me wrong. And
what is turning it around, though?
Top half finish.
Fair enough.
Do you know what, actually, I would genuinely would say would be a turnaround for me, seeing attack-minded performances. Yeah. Because like I said earlier, if you give something for the Spurs fans or any fans in general to get behind, they will get behind the team. Yeah. It's impossible to get behind a team if your team are putting up an XG of 0, right? Our XG has got slightly better in the last few weeks. But you've got to give something. Like, for example, playing Bergvall. Last season, he was our player of the season. Aware we finished 17th, the bar was low, but he was such a bright spark for us. He's a very good player. He's got so much potential and talent. Like, play the boy. Like, you're only playing him today because we've got no options. We only had 11 players available. But, try and play these players, because what you're doing with your double pivot of Polina and Bentancur when they were both fit clearly wasn't working. So try something else.
In a minute.
Well, no, but Polina's still out. Try Gallagher and Bergvall. Try something else. Try something that moves the ball forward.
True.
That's what Spurs fans want to see.
A real sign of change would be start winning your home games. I thought, what was that ridiculous stuff?
We won 4 games in a whole year.
That is horrible.
That's not all on him.
I genuinely expect a team that get relegated to win more games.
Our form has been relegation, though, James, for such a long time.
Disgusting home form. But I think if he can start getting at least fans going to the ground feeling like we're going to see some front-footed football, we're going to win. If we don't, we're at least competitive. And then away from home, just tighten up. Then you can go to 3 at the back.
We haven't been terrible away from home.
I know.
We've actually been, by our standards, quite okay away from home. But the booing at half time and stuff like that, I understand why Spurs fans do it. It's frustrating when you pay all that money to go and watch what you're watching. They won't boo them off tonight. That's nice. Of course, it's a religion. Like, football is like a religion.
I didn't see it.
I know it shouldn't, but does that compound it, Abby, a little bit? Like, I know we ultimately just want our teams to be the best. It's not about the money and the business and all that. But it's part of, like, the salt in the wounds, the sense of, like, pay a fortune for tickets at Tottenham. Yeah. All this money went into this big stadium. There was meant to be this project. Meant to be, you're paying premium for not premium in return, essentially.
And I always felt that it was a very similar thing to Arsenal. Like, when you moved from Highbury.
Yeah.
And I always thought that it was going to be that way and we'd have a transition and, it was going to be painful before it gets better. But there's painful and there's painful, right? And I appreciate it took you guys a long time to come back from Highbury when you moved, and the Emirates era was not a happy one bar the last kind of 3-4 years. Like, it's taken a lot of investment. I mean, it hasn't. Like, the levels that you hit about challenging and competing, you've had FA Cups, which obviously have been good, but the levels that Arsenal was at, when you were at Highbury, I mean, we're talking about invincibles, we're talking about winning Premier Leagues. You've only just got to the point where you're challenging again the last 3 seasons or so.
You're not lying.
So obviously Spurs' history is different to Arsenal's history, and I thought it would be a transitional time, going through those 2 seasons, not having any signings. But the last 6 years at this stadium, I can't believe we are into our going into the 7th year of being at this stadium.
You new one soon.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I could honestly probably list you maybe 5-6 performances that have been good in that stadium, and it's a shame. It's a shame because obviously everyone loved White Hart Lane, and I would have White Hart Lane back in a heartbeat. Maybe you guys would have Highbury back too, but
come into.
No, we needed to move stadiums. To be fair,
good save by Raya.
Boys.
Raya makes a really good save. From DiMarco, left-hand side, drills the ball across, and Raya manages to push it away. This has been an open game of football, an entertaining game of football. David Raya there, talking about Raya, let's say Raya's quite good at catching that one. You push that one back into a dangerous area,
I'll forgive him for that, to be fair. But some good saves.
Yeah, but it's an open Arsenal team. A few moments in this game where Inter Milan have had so much space in midfield just to be able to run through the Arsenal midfield like it's not even there sometimes.
So why at Inter and Chelsea do we look like we can create chances at will? We're really front-footed. We're playing really good football. And away at Forest, we're not. Is it because Forest are a bit more organised? They are. I don't mean to be disrespectful. I'm sure they did in their own way try to play to win, but at the same time, a point would have been quite good for them to a degree. We're coming up against the Inter and Chelsea side. They're probably going to take it to us a little bit more. Or is it that actually, and maybe I'm making too many excuses for the manager here, and I'd love to know your thoughts actually on this. Do you think maybe to a degree against Forest, I'm not saying I agree with this, there's a sense of don't lose.
Yeah,
like it's great if you win.
100%.
9 points, great, but trust me, 7 and capitalising just that extra point.
100%.
Like, is that in our mentality? Whereas from this perspective, it's who cares? Go for it. Go play. I don't know.
James, that's Mikel Arteta, in my opinion, is his biggest gift and his biggest curse is, I want to pick my words wisely, that conservative nature. Like sometimes you feel like it's a terrible example, but sometimes you have to gamble. And I feel for us to develop, attack is a form of defence. Putting your whole hand in is a form of defence. Now, granted, everyone would be hypocritical if we threw the kitchen sink at it and lost at Nottingham Forest. But I have felt this for a while. While that might not have worked in that game, there might be times in the season where it will help, obviously. I think too many things have to go right for Arteta to kind of gamble. The Man City game in the second half, you look how we played in the first versus the second, when we really put that handbrake down. Every time I'm here, I keep mentioning Newcastle away, because that's where I thought, okay, Mikel Arteta, you found that balance, you found making us defensively solid by letting the players play. So I do think, to answer what you asked me, for Mikel Arteta's general development, I think that's something he needs to install. But I make you right. It's like, it'd be great to win here, but if we don't win, it's all right type of thing. But then also, I think it's easy to talk about the managers. It's the players. You're playing at the San Siro. This stadium is amazing. Are you, respectfully to Nottingham Forest, are you going to be up for it in the same kind of vein? Not to say that you're not, but that's what. No, I still think they are. But nobody needs to tell you about the magnitude of this game. It's the Nottingham Forest, isn't that? 9 times out of 10, the last few years, it actually hasn't been the top 6 where we've dropped points, or when we've dropped points where we've lost the title. It's been the games that are winnable on paper. You know, you look at the Wolves game. Yeah, we won, but that was probably one of our more sluggish performances. So it's all a learning curve, man. But we're in a good position. We just got to keep going. But I make you right, man. Like, we got nothing to lose. Go and enjoy it.
Approaching half-time then in our 8 o'clock games in the Champions League. Copenhagen are down to 10 men and now losing home to Napoli by a goal to nil. Scott McTominay scoring the goal for Napoli. Scott McTominay and Rasmus Højlund are the only 2 Napoli players who have scored in the Champions League this season. Napoli 1 up at Copenhagen. It's still Inter Milan 1, Arsenal 2. That game's just gone to half-time. Olympiacos leading by Leverkusen by a goal to nil. Real Madrid are now 2 up at home to Monaco in the Champions League. Kylian Mbappe was in really good form in the Champions League. He's got a breaks. Madrid 2, Monaco 0. Kylian Mbappe is the top-ranked player in the Champions League this season for goals, goal involvement and chances created. Sporting 0, PSG 0. No goals in that game. PSG did have the ball in the back of the net as Emery scoring for them, but that goal was ruled out. And Spurs 2, Borussia Dortmund 0. There's 90 seconds to go in that game. No surprise, perhaps, that the game between 35th place Villarreal and 34th place Ajax is goalless at half-time in the Championship. These games are just about to get under the way. Derby are going okay in the Championship. They start the evening just 5 points off the playoffs. They're 1 up away at Charlton. Top of the table Coventry taking on Millwall. That's first versus fourth. That's 1-1. Third place, Ipswich are beating Bristol City, who are just 3 points off the playoff places. Another team just outside of the playoff places, the QPR. They're drawing 0-0 away at Oxford, who are 23rd in the table. Preston Hull is 6th versus 5th. Hull are 2-0 up at Preston. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Birmingham 0. Swansea 1, Blackburn 1. Norwich, who started the evening inside the bottom 3, are 1 up at West Brom. And it is Wrexham 0, Leicester 0. That game's an 8 o'clock kickoff and is just approaching half time. All the games then are at half time apart from the Spurs game. We are 20 seconds away though from half time into that game. It's been a much improved Tottenham performance, playing with real intensity, real aggression. Xavi Simons in particular is having a really good game. Certainly night and day to what we watched here at the weekend when Spurs lost at home to West Ham, and just looks as if the players are really enjoying themselves. And Thomas Frank has come under pressure for being too pragmatic, too defensive. Maybe tonight he's gone, you know what, go out there, enjoy yourselves, express yourselves. And it is half time and Spurs are leading Borussia Dortmund by 2-0. So here on talkSPORT Goals, we'll take a very quick break, and then when we come back, we're taking you through all of the second half action. Just before we get to the break, Abby Summers, actually, don't know if this is a planned thing here, but all the Spurs players just getting together and leaving the pitch together. I don't know if that was planned, but it looks almost as that them trying to show everyone they're united and together. Or am I completely overanalyzing it? And maybe they're all just close together on the pitch.
Don't actually have the answer to that.
I think Chelsea did it the other day.
Maybe it's a players' union thing. Yeah. But it's nice that they all came together. It's also nice to see them playing a lot better.
To show unity, should we all come together on talkSPORT Goals and leave the studios together and go and make ourselves a half-time cup of tea?
Yeah, go on.
talkSPORT Goals is back in a couple of minutes. A very good evening and welcome back to talkSPORT Goals. We are live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel and also as well on your smart TVs. It's Sam Ellard, Abby Summers, James Bailey, CJ the Dude Gooner with you on a busy night of Champions League football. A bad night for Man City, losing 3-1 away at Bodo Glimt in probably one of the more surprising results we've seen in Champions League history. Abby, Kim Qatari on the show on Saturday just messaged me and said, since I came on talkSPORT for the first time, we haven't won in the Prem, got battered by United, and now battered by Bodo Glimt. Serious bad omen.
I don't think he'll be back.
Honestly. I don't think he's going to be back. That's remarkable, isn't it?
He was meant to be on our show on Monday as well, and he didn't. He zoomed in.
We didn't have a goal show Monday.
No goal show. Sorry,
no goal show Monday.
Another show.
Thing to say, wasn't it?
Another show.
Elsewhere, English sides in action this evening are going okay. Can you believe it? Breaking news: Tottenham Hotspur are not just winning a game of football, but they're playing well. Spurs 2, Borussia Dortmund 0. I'm looking at Abby's phone and she's got a picture of Gareth Bale with Jed Spencer's face on it.
He's having a generational performance.
Oh, are you doing that yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, you do all that creative stuff yourself, do you, on your social channels?
You're photoshopping right now.
Yeah, honestly.
It's really simple.
Just, you know, when Abby's on talkSPORT Goals, talkSPORT Goals is like the number 10 priority thing for Abby of the evening,
That's
right?
such a lie.
She's got 9 other things she's more interested in tonight.
What's on that iPad? Or what? Like,
what is it?
No, there's nothing on there, is there?
She's booking holiday to Dubai.
I wish I was. It's not. I like to read. I like to read the commentary. I like to read the commentary because obviously we've got no sound. So I like to.
What I would prefer is if you watch the game and tell us what happens in the game.
Yeah,
as
true.
opposed to read commentary and then miss what happens. Like that's just my personal.
In fairness, for the first.
I'll find out.
That's what.
I'll tell you when the commentary updates.
Quakey said that on Saturday. He said there's no point you being here.
True. In fairness, for the first 2 goals, I was watching your game. I was watching your game.
Yeah. 2 key incidents. He was just there going, "Oh, this one look good."
Yeah. I'm like, and there's been a goal in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Arsenal were good at set pieces.
You're meant to be across all the games.
Oh, I am, Abby. I asked you to be across one game, okay? Abby, all jokes aside, apart from Jed Spence turning into Gareth Bale, first 45 minutes, so far, so good.
So far, so good. I mean, look, it's the first time I have honestly seen us play a style of football that has been exciting, attacking, front-footed. First time I've seen a winger and Jed Spence actually try and beat a man and have pace and have power. Look, Dortmund are down to 10 men. They've had 1 touch in our box. Like it kind of spoiled the game in that sense, but I can only give them praise. Oh, look who's there as well. Gareth Bale himself.
Wow.
He's actually there tonight. It's where we could be seeing the rebirth. Gareth Bale 2.0.
He's on the pitch, then he's doing
Who knows? Who knows? It could be the rebirth. Could Jed Spence be that? I don't know. Probably not. But yeah, it's just been a good performance. Like, I don't know whether or not this was something that came from the manager. I don't know if this is just the players taking it into their own hands. I don't know.
Maybe they've watched you slag them off on talkSPORT Goals for the last couple of weeks and you've inspired them.
I mean, that would be great if that was the straw that broke the camel's back. That would be good. But do you know what? I will judge it more on what I see against Burnley.
Like purely balance. You've got a back 4 that actually has a left-footed left-back in your
correct.
body. Then you've got 2 midfielders who know how to receive the ball in Bergvall
and Gray.
Not Palhinha, who I think is good off the ball. Not Basuma. Not actually he's quite good on the ball. Not Bentancur. You got players who are happy to actually receive the ball and go, yeah, cool, pressure on me, back to goal, I'm all right. You got Simmons playing with actual pace around him.
You've got someone on the wing that's got pace.
A striker, Corán, who's got a little bit more than just, I'm going to muscle into defenders and try get in a fight. Like, you've got some pace and Spence. Who's on the left? Odegaard. So you've got something direct
on the right.
It's Odegaard on the left.
On the right, yeah.
Okay, so
James, where have you been, mate? The new Gareth Bale's on the left.
On the left.
Yeah, sorry.
Come on.
Well, I thought he might have done it from the right.
But do you know what I would say? I would love to say that this has come from the manager being tactically aware and picking this team. He's not. This is the team that was. This is the only.
Oh, Abby.
I disagree.
Guys, no, it's not disrespectful. This was the only 11 available.
No,
Barcola. Yeah, they are. But he had. I'm not being harsh.
Give credit where credit's due.
What am I giving him credit for?
And you're now having a go with the manager.
I'm not. Can I finish what I'm saying, please? We've had 11 outfield players available and Kolo Muani on the bench. The rest are kids. He hasn't thought, I'm going to play Bergvall and Gray together and see if that works. I'm going to put Jed Spence on the left and put him there.
All that kind of stuff.
He has not picked this.
Abby.
I'm sorry. You cannot say to me he has picked this team.
Do you know what, Abby? Let's say you're right.
Left wing.
Yeah, we had no one else to put there.
Kolo Muani.
Kolo Muani. Okay, good. Well, do you know what? If this is his turning point where he's finally found some tactical nous by being forced into a situation where there was no one else available, then good on him. Long may it continue.
You might be right. Okay.
You're telling me if Polina and Bentancur were both available, he'd have started that midfield.
I'm not a Spurs fan.
You're dreaming if you think he would have done that. You're dreaming. You're dreaming. We're 6 months into the season. I've not seen him select that at all. He's kept Bergwijn on the bench most of the time, and he's played Gray with Polina or Bentancur. There's no chance he would have thought to do that.
Let's say sometimes though, a manager just has that moment where actually they're forced into some changes.
Well, I hope so.
That happened with Arteta, but people can't forget that. He was one. People were really saying this kind of one job. And
I hope so. I would love it to be the turning point. I don't think he's a bad coach.
He's one defeat, and then he brought in Smith Rowe.
I don't care who's in charge. Play me good football. Don't let me finish 17th in the table. I could really care who's there.
I would like that to happen.
That's what I would like. I would like Spurs to get back to a point where the football I watch. I don't expect you to win the league. I don't expect you to win the Champions League. We can't win any other cups because we're out of them. I expect you to be able to put on a half decent performance, especially when at home. And this is the first time I've seen it all season.
Abby, you'll like this from William Hill. I'm sure you're all over this. If you fancy Dortmund to come back into it, the draw is 35-1 and a Dortmund win is 100-1. Arsenal 2-1 up against Inter Milan. Arsenal 4-9 with William Hill to win the draw, 14-5, and Inter Milan are 6-1. Arsenal, PSG, and Real Madrid. All to score second half is now 7-4, boosted from 13-8, 18 plus. Gamble aware dog. We'll take one more very quick break. Try not to slag off Thomas Frank Abbey in the ad break. talkSPORT Goals is back in a minute. A very good evening. Welcome back to talkSPORT Goals. We're live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel at Sam Ellard, Abby Summers, James Bayliss and CJ the Laguna with you until the conclusion of tonight's football in the Champions League. And this talkSPORT Goals show is brought to you by Final One Standing, which is new from William Hill. 18 plus gambleware.org. Terms and conditions apply. Inter Milan 1, Arsenal 2. Inter have conceded 2 goals in the first half of a Champions League game since April 2011 against Schalke. Spurs are loving life this evening. Well, Abby's not. Spurs 2, Borussia Dortmund 0. And it looks like former Liverpool midfielder Emre Can is coming on for Borussia Dortmund at the start of the second half. Other latest scores in the Champions League. By the way, if you have missed it, Bodo Glimt 3, Man City 1 was a full-time result from earlier. Napoli are 1-0 away at Copenhagen. Scott McTominay scoring for Napoli. Olympiacos are now 2-0 up at home to Bayer Leverkusen. Bayer Leverkusen are unbeaten in the last 19 major European matches against sides from outside of Europe's top 5 leagues. Both these sides are fighting to try and get themselves into the top 24 to go into the playoffs. Kylian Mbappe's got 2 for Real Madrid against his former side Monaco. Monaco have won 5 of their last 8 Champions League games against Spanish sides, but that surely won't happen this evening. PSG starts an evening third in the table on 13 points, are drawing away at Sporting, who were just a couple of points off the top 8 in 14th place. Spurs 2, Dortmund 0, and it's Villarreal 0, Ajax 0 in the Championship. Charlton 0, Derby 1, top of the table Coventry 1, Millwall 1, Ipswich now 2-0 up at home to Bristol City, Oxford 0, QPR 0. Hull City are 3 up away at Preston, both sides starting the evening inside the playoffs. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Birmingham 0. Swansea have taken the lead against Blackburn, they're 2-1 up. Norwich now 2 up away at West Brom, and Wrexham 0, Leicester 0. Arsenal corner, how the second half started?
Literally, it was going on. We started in the same vein. Marino just got caught in possession, and my heart skipped a beat. But other than that, it's like the half time never happened, man.
Do you like that song? Heart Skipped a Beat?
Nah, man.
Do you know who sings it?
Nah.
Do you, James? You look a bit of Ollie Murs, don't you?
It's Ollie Murs.
Ollie Murs. Skip a beat, is it? Ollie Murs?
It's not really my genre.
What's your genre?
More like R&B, hip hop.
Oh.
Yeah. You lost me.
What's your genre, CJ?
R&B, hip hop, anything that's not Ollie Murs. Like Ollie Murs is on the right, I'm on the left.
All I'm saying
not a clue, mate.
I'm asking for your music opinions.
Yeah,
not your
I don't
political
even know who
decisions,
Ollie
all right?
Murs is. Like,
Oh, you must know Ollie Murs is.
Genuinely, no. Did he win?
Mate, no,
Is he X Factor guy?
he came second actually. Didn't win.
I don't know. Yeah,
Sounds like it's more your genre.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think Ollie
saying
Murs
is
has
you
got
can
some
like
bangers. Huh?
you can like both.
What do you
can
like?
both.
both.
You like both?
A bit of hip hop, a bit of Ollie Murs, a bit of Busted when I was 10.
But Busted are good.
What a time that was. in my
McBusted, how about that?
No, I never went to see them. No, for me, it's the
You must have like a big
originals.
McBusted when you were
I
younger.
wasn't a Busted fan.
Oh, dread to think what you were
No.
into when you were younger.
Who doesn't love Rihanna?
Yeah. Now
Right,
you're
no,
talking.
give me a
Now
reaction.
you're talking. Yeah.
Right, let me ask you this question.
Such a lane change from Busted. Just such a lane change.
What, to Rihanna?
Yeah.
If you could, road question.
Variety.
Going off topic here while there's a lull in the early proceedings in the second half. If you, CJ, could pick one person to perform, let's say, at the Super Bowl tomorrow, who would you go for?
Prime 50 Cent.
Prime 50
Prime
Cent.
50 Cent. Yeah, that's me.
All right, Fez. JB?
Oh, come back to me.
Abby?
Mine would be Chris Brown because I think that everyone should, if they haven't already seen him in concert, it will change their life.
Really? It would change your life?
It's the best thing ever.
Yeah, I've never seen him in concert.
Best thing ever.
Is it? Yeah. I've seen videos on like TikTok and stuff. It looks good.
As a performance, as a general performer.
Yeah, he can dance as well, can't he?
Yeah, like just insane
Probably
concert.
pick Drake, you know.
Would you?
I think he's doing the halftime show at the World Cup. Apparently,
That'd be so good.
The half-time show at the World
that's
Cup.
a rumor. Yeah, apparently there's gonna be a halftime show at
Really?
the World Cup, and there's a rumor it's gonna be
And
Drake.
Drake's gonna
That's
do it.
all rumor. Don't be, I've got no sources at the World Cup.
Sources.
We'll come-
Who was yours? Was yours be?
I go someone like Ed Sheeran or someone like that.
Be a bit
I wouldn't mind that shit.
It would go off at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You being sarcastic?
Well, I was actually, but to be fair, he does have the odd banger.
Nah, he's got bangers, man.
Yeah, it's not like the most energetic. Like
No.
There's a time and a place I think for Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
I think Ed's genius.
I
see?
don't
Yeah,
don't disagree with that, but there's just
I
a
can't
time and a
imagine.
place.
Can you imagine James like just bopping along to a bit of Drake?
James loves
can't.
Migos.
Yeah,
Swear down.
big Migos fan.
My
I
guy.
saw them at
He
O2
loves
Brixton.
it.
I thought you'd have been
They
like a
really
Susan
got
Boyle kind of guy.
big. Like I said,
Don't
know.
underestimate.
No, I
James.
think Susan's great. She did well.
You got
Bristol
James.
all I'll say is I don't play one style of football, mate. I've got,
Yeah, you're adaptable.
yeah,
Pressing,
absolutely.
defensive,
Yeah,
counter-attacking.
I think I've got an 8-hour Migos playlist on my phone.
Yeah, he loves
Same,
it.
Random. Yeah, which is
Who's
so.
your favourite one out of all of them?
Oh, R.I.P. Take off, man.
Must say I'm Quavo. R.I.P. I'm Quavo.
What a legend.
Who?
Quavo. He got 3 Migos in it. Like,
Oh, Quavo.
yeah.
Oh, I know Quavo. I think he did a song with Justin Bieber once.
See, I don't know that.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Let's go.
Yeah, he did.
I also think.
But I love that's how you know where.
Yeah.
I also think Bieber will be an underrated shout for the Super Bowl.
Can't lie. I agree.
Thank you, JB.
you're not wrong.
JB to JB. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, sounds good. James going to taste me.
Also, I think he's an Arsenal fan, Justin Bieber.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. Didn't you have like a picture with Ben White and Martin Odegaard at
I think he
at like a
might have
game?
at a SoFi, maybe in a
pre-season game.
pre-season friendly.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, yeah.
We've got some great celebrity fans.
Brooklyn Beckham? He's an
Is
Arsenal
he?
fan. I think,
Okay.
is he not an Arsenal fan?
21
I
Savage.
don't know, might be. Yeah, 21 Savages
Yeah.
and Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
What, no.
There's actually a few of
Love
them.
a bit of 21, by the way.
Yeah.
Jamie said,
There we go.
Should we discuss Brooklyn Beckham?
It Trossard. Oh,
Oh,
Are you Brooklyn or Team Brooklyn?
Oh,
Team
here we
Dave?
go. I'm just waiting for the Piers Morgan interview or something.
With who? With Brooklyn?
Well, someone.
We know too much about the Beckham family now, man.
It's mad, isn't
Yeah,
it?
they need to just go counselling and just leave the general public alone, man.
No, but it's so good.
Yeah, it is good, but I mean,
It's so good.
I mean, you're
It's
saying
also
your mum
quite
danced
sad.
on you. It's getting a
Oh
bit
no, it's
weird.
sad. I'm not saying it's not sad for them, but like as an
But for you, it's fun.
Oh, it's like when that dropped yesterday. I was like, oh my gosh,
Were you all over it?
all over it.
Were you?
It's- I was.
Are you Team Brooklyn or David?
I don't like to take sides.
Okay, very sensible.
You can tell she doesn't support Tottenham goals.
As a hit it. Oh.
She does not take sides.
I do not.
I also love if Ezra scored that goal there. The sort of into the clip would have
Yeah.
been us talking about Brooklyn. Ezra scores for Arsenal.
Yeah, big Migos fan. Oh, it's 3. Yeah.
Right, anyway, I was quite enjoying that chat. I don't want to talk about the football, to be honest with you. Tottenham 2, Borussia Dortmund 0, Inter Milan 1, Arsenal 2. Have we had some other goals in the Champions League? Yes, we have. By the way, Hull City 3 up against Preston. I think I told you that. Derby County have doubled the lead away at Charlton. Bobby Clark has scored that goal. Villarreal are leading against Ajax by a goal 2-0. Abby, how Spurs start the second half?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Just very in control of the game. Dortmund, honestly, Dortmund are just camped in their half, to be honest. I think they're just trying to reduce the damage. First time ever since Opta began that Dortmund have not had a shot on target in a game so far.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good stat,
I
actually.
know. I'm going to just double check that was actually correct. Hold on, wait.
see the
Sorry, in the
confusion.
first half. In the first half. Thank you.
Whatever, since Opta
For
started.
the first time in Opta records since 0304, Borussia Dortmund have failed to record a shot in a single
that,
half
ref.
of a UEFA Champions League match.
Okay, fair play.
Frank Bull, man. Frank Bull.
Yeah, I mean, it's would you give him a new contract tonight or tomorrow morning?
Right now.
Oh, you're half time. Yeah, I like it. Yeah,
If they score a third 10-year contract.
yeah,
Give me a
yeah.
face. Don't be sick.
Best manager in the league. Keep him forever, man.
Don't
Also,
be
do you know
sick.
what-
I actually I know I'm being sarcastic.
I like
I
him
actually
as well.
like him.
I like Frank
He's a
as
good
well.
manager. He's a good manager.
Do you know what? Do you know what's
Nice.
upsetting?
I like him as well. I don't
Do you know
like
what-
him for my football
Do you know what's
club.
upsetting about Abby is how she's got a bit personal with him. I think. Over
I haven't got personal. Don't be ridiculous.
No,
I haven't.
I'm joking.
You keep saying he's a nice guy and then ripping him
Yeah,
apart.
just tearing him a new one.
I can think that someone is a nice guy. I thought Ange was a great guy. I would have loved to have had a chat and a barbecue with Ange. Don't mean I wanted him to stay at my football club.
I bet Ange.
It's a banging barbecue.
I bet if you go to Postecoglou's house on a summer Sunday,
Oh, yeah.
I bet he
Where's
is
he
like,
from in Australia?
mate, I
Do
don't
we
know.
know?
He's from Perth, I think.
Okay.
I think they did the mural film. I think he's from Perth.
Meant to be.
Why'd you ask
beautiful
that?
Place.
he
Well,
from
I thought
But he's
Me-
from Greece.
Australia's an
Is he
amazing
Perth?
place.
He was obviously born, wasn't he, in Greece?
Yeah.
But I think
Greece
he
is
grew
nice.
up in Melbourne.
Oh, it was in Melbourne. They did a
Okay.
whole massive thing for him in Perth.
He grew up in Melbourne from the age of 5.
Oh, maybe.
That's what Wikipedia says. I mean, I don't know. I used to love going to Ange Postecoglou press conferences when I used to.
You did used to say he looks at the floor a lot.
Oh yeah, no, he does. But what I liked about him is, my goodness me, he would just answer your question straight to you.
Yeah,
like,
he
there was
would,
no BS. He would just game by game. Whatever.
just-
He
yeah.
would just say it, and it was a bit scary sometimes if he came after you.
There is this.
He was great.
There is this like nostalgia though that's going around in the Spurs fan base.
Well, no,
Oh, that could be a
never.
ban.
Ref. Be serious, boy.
Oh, what a tackle that from Miles Lewis.
Look at Lewis.
I think Eze might have caught him late there.
I didn't see
think
nothing.
I think they could go back with this.
An Inter Milan player has gone down inside the box. Eberich Eze with a challenge. The referee, it's
get
the
out,
captain,
Toro.
Lautaro Martinez. Let's have a look. He comes inside the box. He tries to go past Saliba.
No, get out of here, man.
Never.
Get out of
It's,
it.
it's actually really embarrassing. Although I think Mosquera might have landed on his head. Actually, let's have a look at this again.
Oh, well, that angle looks a
Does
bit
Saliba
scary.
catch him?
No.
I think that'd be very soft.
I don't think that's
No,
enough.
man.
I think it's one of those. As soon as he goes in the box, it looks like he's looking for
Yeah,
it.
he is. Yeah, he's
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
The feet have made very unnatural
Yeah.
movements
Yeah.
to slip off the floor, so he goes down.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, I think he knew he was what he was going to do there, and no penalty. And I think we can all move on from that. Big game this weekend, isn't it? By the way,
Arsenal United. Yeah.
Huge.
What are you expecting, Abby?
What am I expecting or what I want?
Well, no, expecting. I know what you want, obviously.
What am I expecting? I don't know. Like, if Manchester United play how they did last week against Manchester City, then I think they're in with a shout. Like, they've just got to get something. I don't know. They're obviously playing with a lot more freedom. I think having three in midfield obviously helps. It's amazing that
Who would have thought it, right?
No, it's incredible that Amram just didn't try that. Really mental. Maybe he'd still have a job. But yeah, I mean, I think it was a good performance the other day. It was a really good performance, especially if we're going by their standards as well. So,
performance of the season.
I think if that was at Old Trafford, probably I would feel more like come on United type of thing. I mean, there's a bit of hope going into it, but good game.
Wait till Sunday, man.
Yeah,
one game at a time. We're playing at the moment.
We will be there.
Every game just feels massive, though. I think that's just where we are.
So, what from like a neutral's point of view, which I guess I'm a neutral in this title race, is like, just City at the moment don't look anywhere near like all this talk about Arsenal going to drop points, which obviously needs to happen, but like City themselves just don't look capable, do they, of going on winning runs? I mean, it's not like, I feel like maybe the way this season pans out is similar to last season in the sense of you guys sort of let Liverpool kind of pull away. Not let Liverpool pull away. Liverpool obviously did well, but you didn't put a lot of pressure on. Maybe the next couple of months might be similar. You guys obviously really didn't deserve to win the league, but like at the moment, I only see the gap getting bigger as opposed to based on what we're seeing.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Do
you disagree?
I don't
think we're going to pull out in front.
I don't think we'll do what Liverpool did last year. I think City are more consistent than we were last
day of the season.
Mm-hmm. Or the last couple of weeks.
So you think that you're going to slip up enough?
Every time I've been here with you, I've said we're going to drop points. City going to drop points.
Where do you think that you're going to drop enough points? Because City obviously so inconsistent. Yeah. None of us are even really saying that Villa is a real contender, which is probably disrespectful to Villa.
But
crossing from the right, Trossard marked to the back post. First time body with his left foot just goes wide of the post.
But let's be real. City are probably the main challenger.
It's only City, isn't it?
It's only but obviously. The consistency with City is a very big problem. We've seen that tonight. We've seen that at the weekend. We've seen that for the last 4 games. So where do you think that you're going to drop enough points and City are going to be consistent enough to close the gap? Because at 7 points, I get.
How many games is that though?
What? How many?
7 points. Really and truly, what is 7 points at this moment in time?
Yeah, but you're 7 points in front. So where do you see yourself slipping up? Is it going to the Etihad? Is it?
I think we need to win at the Etihad. Obviously, mathematically, it probably doesn't mean anything, but it'd be nice to finally win there. I kind of have built that game up in my mind as you win there, you might just be champions. Football's unpredictable. Like, I know we beat Wolves, but I couldn't have predicted that Wolves was probably going to be one of our toughest games of the season. I've said this once, I'm going to say it again. Like, I don't want to take too much stock in the points gap. By all means, I love it, but start of March, April is when I start taking these things in. I genuinely think it's going down to the wire. Genuinely.
I've supported Arsenal for a long time and never seen us win the Premier League. I just have never seen us do things easily. Huh?
What do you mean? You're the same age?
No, I became a fan. Champions League finals was the first game I watched.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was quite late to liking football.
Oh, fair play, mate.
I know. And so...
technically, you have been alive there when Arsenal won the league.
Yeah, but I haven't been a fan.
No.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you became a fan?
11?
What was you doing before that?
What were you doing before that?
What, listening to Justin Bieber?
Yeah. I was helping Migos a record deal.
Allow him.
No,
Do you know what? They used to. It's great having you on the show. You guys are great together.
I was quite late to. I was quite late to playing as well. But I say that like I made it pro.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah. I was midfield. I was quite late. It's incredible that I made it to school. Honestly.
Power League when I was 16 was incredible. Oh my God.
Yeah, 5 aside at the Common, man. It was an incredible turnaround from me. I picked it up quick.
What's in the midfield?
No, I was like quite lightweight. I was like, I don't want to.
Really? I couldn't tell.
I didn't fancy the tackle.
I wish I was more like you, mate.
More like Jorginho. I was more like, just give me the ball, I'll pass it, and I'll keep it moving.
I'm like Jack Spence, man, just left, back, right.
Fair play.
Yeah, man.
But anyway, how did we get onto this? Right, never seen us win the league. So I fear it because...
Okay. Kind of like,
Let me paint you a picture.
Oh, sorry. No, I think I get it.
We're in the FA Cup semi-final. Who's in front of us? Hull, someone else, Wigan, and us. We haven't won a trophy for 9 years. I go to Wembley. What do? Go 1-0 down to Wigan. What do? Take it to penalties and nick it against Championship Wigan to go to the final. We get to the final. What do we do against Hull? We're 2-0 down.
Was you at the final as well?
Minutes. No, I wasn't.
See, I was there in the whole section.
2-0. Oh,
Really?
Wow.
Best day and worst day of my life. Like being 2-0 down, I thought, Arsenal, if you lot do this to me. And that's why I'll always love Santi Cazorla, because the smallest man stood up the tallest and just kicked off us winning that trophy.
Did you have to do a Hull accent?
No, I was just keeping quiet. Like the whole fans, like, for obvious reasons, I'll probably
Do
look
people
like
don't recognise you? That's CJ did it again.
No, this was 2014. I didn't know what YouTube was then.
So yeah, so I've never known Arsenal to make it easy, ever. They're rolling to the title.
But is that PTSD from us, Jim?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course, there's nothing
This
like
is
that.
a support group,
Everything I tried to bring on this show is logical, rational. It's research. I tried to look at the numbers.
Yeah, mate, you've really got to stop that.
Except, yeah, I know. Except for this one feeling here, this one take right here, we are not going to walk it because I support Arsenal Football Club.
I get that, but
The only one that can stop us is ourselves.
Is that what you're saying? That you expect yourself to slip up to a point, you put yourself in a position that you close the gap, but no one's actually been consistent. But you've closed the gap.
For me, it's the more it feels tangible and believable, is the more there's an urge of caution. I would say for me, I don't think we're playing at our sparkling best, and I don't mean that in a disingenuous way. I mean that, like, if you, whatever people say, if we've got this points tally and we're still in 4 competitions at this moment in time, when everything clicks into gear, then we're gone. I'm a bit like James in that we like to audit the performance, we like to look at the numbers, and there's a lot of gears to go up, and I genuinely believe the only one that can stop Arsenal is themselves. So I think I'm at the point, based on last season and the couple seasons before that, I probably only believe we win the league when we actually do it, you know, and it takes some time to sink in. But just game by game, let's just keep working. I don't look at the league table. I don't know where we are. Let's just keep trying,
every day, and I struggle.
I don't even know how you do it. Like,
do you both think that you should be adding anything to your squad this window?
General,
the reason I asked that is just from conversation I've had with Arsenal fans this week, that they said if they felt that there was someone attacking in the market, someone on the left, or a striker that they would want to try and dip the toe in.
If it was up to me, a centre mid and a left winger. Striker, I guess if Gyökeres ain't doing what he's doing, we could look at that in the summer, but I think we need another left wing would be a welcome addition.
I have a completely different take on this. I would like a player. I want, and I can't believe I'm saying it after the summers we've had, I want another centre-back.
Trust me.
Oh, James.
A versatile defender of the timber would be great.
Genuinely.
Yeah, we could do with another defender.
Here's my pitch. Here's my pitch. Let's go through every player. Timber's had 2 surgeries since he's been at Arsenal. Ben White, very injury prone for 2 years. Saliba, 3 injuries this year. Gabriel, 2 surgeries in 2025. Nkapie out at the moment. Calafiori, very injury prone. Lewis Skelly, not a left back. Mosquera's just had 2 months out. Every player, I'm really worried about the amount of minutes they're going to have to play because of how many players are sort of chopping and changing who's in and who's out. So I for me, would get someone as backups, then Lewis Skelly can help in midfield at times.
But is that not something that you...
Oh, God! Saka's about to score. Oh, that's a fantastic tackle.
No, he took too long.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. He did take too long, but it's still a fantastic tackle.
Wow, we see both Saka chances so differently. He took too long here. No, look, he should have hit it.
You was more critical of the first opportunity. I'm more critical of
No, the other way around.
Yeah, the other way around. The other way around.
Victor Valdepenas, by the way, is a Real Madrid defender. You have been linked with. So
19 years old, left back / left centre back.
Inexperienced.
He loves the left back / left centre back.
He loves them.
Lucas Bergvall's
Can we bring Rice on to take the corner?
Yeah, he went down injured, Abby, a few months ago.
Yeah.
So Bergvall's coming off the youngster Byfield.
Just can't catch a break.
More on that in a second. Arsenal about to make a couple of substitutions, and they've got corner as well. Maybe make the subs now, and Declan Rice can come on and whip this in. Do you guys not think, though, James, when people talk about Arsenal are going to bottle it and all these kind of things to get thrown your way, and obviously we all know you've been close now and got over the line, but do you not think that can also work the other way? You can use that technically real glass half full approach. That you can use that in your favour. The fact that this team have been through the adversity, been through the bad times. They're a year wiser, a year older, a year more experienced. They're also they've been in title races. They know what it's like. That you can always use that not winning the title to your advantage this season.
100%. I think, the whole second again, ole ole. Rival fans like to chant that, and when we go to other grounds, they chant it.
Don't.
Even teams that would die to be where
every
Arsenal
week
is as well.
No, look, the second again, and the criticism of Arsenal being second is one thing. The other way to look at it is Arsenal finished second 3 years in a row. So we have been in that conversation. We have been near the top. When we had a poor season last year, we still finished runners up. At some point, a young team is going to, you would hope, develop and kick on. Now, I know Ollie, I think, finished second a couple times. They didn't kick on. I'm not saying it's a guarantee you eventually get over the line. But I think Arsenal have done things like take Man City to the final day, like demolish Real Madrid, like have the start that we've had this season to make people think, oh, they do have the quality. They do have the tactical nous. They do have the managers. Now they have the minerals and the mentality to just see it out. And that comes with, like you said, hunger. I mean, I think when you watch Declan Rice this season, he looks like he's on a one-man mission. And actually, Saliba and Gabriel, I've got to give them credit. Those three in particular look like they're just absolutely not having it. Just the way they're playing, there's a particular aggression about them. There's a particular stand in the way they're speaking. And did you hear Saliba the other day was basically saying, I'm tired, I need to win trophies.
And that's not the first time he said that, James. He says it every year. And
Bukayo Saka's been more, like, in a good way, like more vocal, a bit more kind of mouthy with referees and a bit more kind of like vocal with his teammates. Declan Rice, really disappointed after games against Wolves and Forest. I like that. I think there's almost like an underlying... Trossard's got this. Yeah, Arteta. I think a lot of them are almost like using the anger to fuel them a little bit, like you said, and I think it's quite good to see.
And for me, more than anything, the manager, the players, they should just be like, you should be fearless. You should, like, what can they say? God forbid but if we get to me and we don't win a trophy, what can they say that they haven't said in the last 3 years? What can they say that they do?
Well, no, this would be the worst.
No, it would be the worst.
If we didn't win a trophy this year.
We will say an awful lot.
That's not my
This would be the one time I'd go, the bottleless thing is utterly fair.
But they can say that. But they can say that. Anyone that's played a game of football, anyone that's done anything in life, if they're going to say that about you and they don't rate you anyways, that's great. As long as you believe in each other. Just use that to drive you. We shouldn't care about any of this bottling nonsense that is said. Like, and at the same time, if we're bantered about being second, obviously we need to get over the line. But we have to be a decent outfit. You know, a lot of the people that slew us and boy us, they would pray to be where that is. The only question that Mikel Arteta needs to answer and these boys needs to answer is, are you winners? The gaffer has shown he can compete with the best of them in Europe, the players as well. Just get over the line and win something, ideally the Prem or the Champs. And I'm more thinking of, like, from August to now, like, there's nothing they can say. I don't think my boys feel pressure. I mean, everyone's human and I don't feel they feel pressure, man. I'm not being funny. You've gone to the Bernabeu. You've competed against City. The only pressure you must feel is the pressure on yourselves. I don't think it's them old Arsenal sides of, oh my God, we're playing games. We ain't got cojones, as you know, a former ex-player that likes to sit on this platform says. We're all right, man. We just need to win, man. As you can see, my heart is bleeding. Like, boys, just win something, man. Just win something. And when you, like you said, when you got Rice, when you got Saliba, when you got Gabriel, when you got these people that it hasn't been a straightforward kind of path for them into this Arsenal team, just use it to drive you, man.
I mean, that would inspire me, that whole speech.
What can I say? Arteta sign me, man.
I think they do feel pressure.
Nah.
I think they feel...
I don't think... What pressure... Oh, God. Okay. What pressure do they feel that no normal team does? I'm saying, like, they don't crumble and, oh, my God, they're scared, like they used to say with Arsenal sides. When?
I haven't seen you do it yet.
When? Yeah, you haven't. But
I haven't seen you do it yet. Like,
yeah, but how did they crumble? Like, how did they feel? Beyond just being a footballer, what pressure do they feel?
Well, obviously there's pressure when you are the hunted. Like, a lot of the time Arsenal have been hunting and you are now the hunted. You will feel pressure. If City can get their act together, if Villa can get their act together, if Liverpool had their act together, if you were...
That's what it's and buts.
Of course it is. If you're in a competitive... Hold on. If you're in a competitive title race, for example, like with Liverpool and City, or when you've had closer title races over the years, you have felt the pressure. You have been in situations where you have bottled it. This season
100%.
might be different. For example, we go back last season when you had the PSG game. There was a bit of bottling there.
We didn't bottle the PSG game.
There was a bit of bottle.
That's not losing a game is not bottling. Losing a game is not bottling. We're opening midfield. Dembele scored. That's not bottling. I know it's great. Arsenal lose. We start talking about bottling.
There was a little bit of bottle.
I'm just saying, if I may finish, I'm just simply saying. I
wasn't done.
Yeah, well, the Arsenal fans are here now. As I was saying, yeah, I just genuinely don't feel they would, like, game in, game out, we win. Oh my God, we're going to win the title. Oh my God, we're going to lose. I don't believe that.
Say that you don't feel you don't think they feel pressure. Of course,
I don't feel they succumb to pressure.
They are elite footballers.
I literally said they feel an element of normal pressure. I just don't think it's the normal thing they used to say about Arsenal. Like, these guys are crumbling week in, week out. I don't feel when, like, for example, when they dropped points against Liverpool, I don't think they sat there and gone, oh my God, it's all over. In the same vein, when they finally won at St James's Park, which we never do, I don't think they sat there and said we're going to do it.
I would have been interested to see.
Of course, every footballer has an element of that.
Of course, there's pressure.
I'm not debating that.
I would have been interested to see, for example, and how obviously the rest of the season goes. Let's say that City do close the gap, or you mess up, or something like that. And let's say there is 3 points in it, and around the time you go to the Etihad, or I don't know, if you come to Spurs and we do something, which I'm sure we won't. I'm sure we won't do anything to stop you in your tracks. But let's say hypothetically in a game of North London derby, something can happen.
No, I agree with that.
I'm saying there are things like that. like, let's say that the gap is only 3 points, then I will see your mental resolve. Then I'll see if this Arsenal team has changed. Which is what I have said from the beginning of the season.
That's the only thing I would say is that I need to see how we are in the latter stages, because the only time I've seen us kind of like do it in the tail end was probably the year we took it to the last game of the season against City. So there is that element. I just don't think we're living and breathing. When I'm saying bottling or pressure, I don't think we're living and dying by week in, week out. I don't feel that helps anyone. I don't think Arteta is saying, of course, they all know where they're at. They all know the ramifications of winning and losing internally and obviously other teams. I just don't think they're going week in, week out, 1 minute on top of the moon, the next they're feeling sorry for themselves. That's too temperamental. You don't get to do what we've done. Fair enough, you can laugh about trophies and that, but clearly Arteta's competed against the best of the best when it comes to being a manager. You don't go to the Bernabeu, let alone welcome them to our place and keep your cool tempo. We're not that temperamental side. Now we need to show we can be winners. And obviously, to become winners, you need to become something you've never been. So that's why I think we're a good side. We now need to be a great side. The things we're good at, I don't care what we're good at. That needs to become great. The evident areas of expectation needs to be improved. And this is where I'm kind of excited and nervous, because in this first, give or take, first half of the season, entering into the second, we've been good. I need us to be great. I need the attack to click. A lot of people argue with me on my YouTube channel. I think we've been a good defensive side this year. I think we need to be a great one. I think whoever's been there, I mean, everyone will say this, but we've conceded a lot of cheap goals. Going back, I keep mentioning the same games. The City game, I know Szoboszlai scored a great free kick against us, but I was here literally. I was here and I was saying, second half, Gaffer, can we change things? The temperature's going against us. I think we've got to learn a lot of learned experiences now to just channel that. So we're hungry. Let's go do this, man. But I don't think we've got a mentality problem. But we need to just simply put, show we're winners now. Thank you for my TED talk.
I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I have to say, CJ, I mean, you've got me quite excited for Arsenal to win the Premier League now this season. Sorry, Abby, but you know, for me as a Liverpool fan, I'd rather see Arsenal win it than City win it again.
I'm sure you would. If Arsenal win it, then Arsenal win it, and they would have won it because they were the best team, and they would have had a change in their mentality from what I've seen over the years. But let's see what happens when it gets to like crunch time, and if there is consistency from anyone else, if they can challenge you. If not, fair and square, you've won it, no problem.
Left foot in front of the right, one game at a time.
I'll be out of here. Quick.
Latest scores then. Should I bring everyone up to date, shall we? With
their games on.
I was quite enjoying that.
By the way, we're not playing that well this second half.
Bollers. No,
Just manage the game, boys, mum.
We've got, 20 minutes to go then in the Champions League. Results from earlier on. Club Brugge winning 4-1 at Kairat. Remarkable scenes. Bodo Glimt beating Man City by 3-1. Elsewhere, later scores. Copenhagen are winning 1-0. Napoli, are winning 1-0 at Copenhagen. Napoli have won all 4 of their previous games against Danish opposition in European competition. Both sides not having great Champions League campaigns so far. Napoli just inside the top 24. Copenhagen outside of it. Arsenal are still 2-0 away at Inter Milan. They're going to go 7 wins from 7 and guarantee themselves a place in the last 16. Olympiacos are 2-0 at home to Bayer Leverkusen. Olympiacos and Bayer Leverkusen faced twice in the Champions League in 2003. First group stage, the Greek side won 6-2 at home for a 2-0 win for Leverkusen at the Bayer Arena. So these two sides don't meet often in European competitions. Real Madrid, boys and girls, are 5-0 up at home to Monaco. Kylian Mbappe's got a couple of goals. Vinny Jr. Scored the 5th goal. It was a wonderful finish. And Real Madrid, who had lost 2 of their last 3 games in the Champions League, are now 5 up against Monaco and absolutely cruising. Sporting are still holding PSG 0-0. So of the teams that started inside the top 8 today, PSG 3rd are drawing, Man City 4th are losing, Inter also inside the top 8 are losing as well. So possibly there could be a lot of change. I've actually looked at the live table at the moment. Spurs with their victory are up to 5th in the table, and there's going to be a lot of teams who play tomorrow night who could gate crash that top 8. Spurs 2, Borussia Dortmund 0, Villarreal 1, Ajax 1 in the Championship. These games are 7:45 kickoffs, so not long to go here. Derby are 2-1 up at home to Charlton. Derby were winning 2-0. Charlton have just pulled a goal back. Derby 5 points off the playoffs before a ball was kicked this evening. Haji Wright has scored for Coventry. Top of the table, Coventry score late once again. They're 2-1 up against 4th place Millwall. More comfortable for 3rd place Ipswich. They're beating Bristol City by 3-0. Oxford starts in the evening inside the bottom 3 goalless at home to playoff chasing QPR. What a night for Hull City. 3 up away at Preston. Birmingham are 1 up away at Sheffield Wednesday. Swansea 3, Blackburn 1. And goodness me, a scoreline of the Hawthorns. It's West Brom 0, Norwich 4. Norwich starting the evening inside of the bottom three. West Brom only a couple of points outside of it. Norwich 4 up at West Brom, and Wrexham this game, 80 o'clock kickoff. Wrexham are leading Leicester by a goal to nil. Wrexham, one of many teams not too far outside of the playoff places. Guys, what's happening in the game between Inter Milan and Arsenal?
I'm not going to lie. I need to see this again. I wonder whether Bastoni should have been sent off.
He's a lucky fella. His hand was risen there. Touched his face.
So Marino, to be fair, does swipe at DiMarco. He goes down. It's a yellow card, fine. Then it looks like Bastoni runs up to Marino and gives him a bit of a palm in the face. Yeah. But I don't know. I have to see that one again. If it was a bit lower, it's one of those where, yellow's enough. If it's in the face, it should probably be a red.
I love Marino when he does that kind of stuff. Man.
Arsenal just digging deep. They're bringing on Gabriel and Gyökeres now.
We need fresh legs.
I kind of get it. You're adding some physicality. Jesus has probably played as much as he can play, which is 5 minutes of the game. You hope Gyökeres can give us a bit of an outlook going the other way. And Mosquera, again, back from injury, comes off for Gabby. So, yeah, but Jesus, 2 goals. Fair play. And by the way, it's not just the goals. He's played really well tonight. His hold-up play, his strength, the way he's looked after the ball. I don't know if we'll ever see 22-23 Jesus again, because he was unbelievable that season.
That's not his fault. Now, man.
The knee injuries might have taken its toll, but he's still a very nimble...
Great score player as well to have, to start games like this, come off the bench.
Well, I think he could earn his place as the starting 9.
Who starts Sunday? Do you think because the game's only 4 or 5 days away, do you think Gyökeres comes back in? Maybe don't ask Jesus to start 2 games in a few days?
Probably, but there's going to be immense temptation to start Jesus after he scored 2.
If Kai was fit, like properly fit, I'd probably lean towards Kai Havertz for Man United. A part of me wants to go with Marino. As James has said, Jesus, it depends on how quickly he can recover. He ain't put a foot wrong. The striker position's open at this moment, man.
And can we say there might not be a lot for Arsenal on this game? But there is for Inter. You just mentioned where they are on the table and the fact they're at home, so I imagine they might have an away game left. Or did you mention it was Dortmund at home? I can't remember. But
Dortmund away it is.
Right, Dortmund away. So there's a lot for Inter on this game. So for Jesus to come in and perform at this level against, a team typically known for being quite stubborn, difficult to break down, back 3, all that. Got to the Champions League final last year, albeit I appreciate that.
And they won their first 4 games this season. They won 4 from 4 and have lost their last 3, as things stand.
Well, there you go. I mean, so for Jesus to come in, I know we've kind of been quite relaxed as fans on this game about this match. But
and just another thing just to add in to the possible title race. City might not come in the top 8 now after the defeat tonight. They're probably, with tomorrow night's game, and drop out of the top 8. Wow. So you guys, in the next 3 or 4 weeks, are going to be able to rest players next Wednesday night, and then when City play the playoff 2-leg, week after week, they'll be playing midweek, and you'll get the rest,
and
which is very important.
Later that week, right? Mm-hmm. I think next week.
I think end of I think it's 22nd, is it?
Right, so
end of Feb.
Tottenham normally beat them as well. Not that I'd want that to happen.
No, you've got them very...
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying you've got us.
No.
Oh, yeah.
City travel to you guys. So it's a great point you made. They're going to have to go really strong in midweek. We'll rotate versus Kairat.
That's 3 big games midweek where they're going to have to play their strongest team, and you'll have 2 off. And one next week, you better play the kids, won't you?
See,
who have you got? Kairat. Who have you got?
Kairat.
I mean,
Marino can't play a part in that because obviously got the yellow card, so he's missing out of that. But this is where I'm not saying fans are without claim when they say this year, but in the early stages of the Champions League, I've heard a lot of Arsenal fans say, Arteta needs to rest, he needs to do this and that. Based on what you just said there, this is why you need to take this Champions League very seriously early doors, so that you're able to be in situations like that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, again, the luxury next week will be brilliant. And then, of course, Sporting have taken the lead at home to PSG. Sporting 1, PSG 0. Incredibly, again, PSG started the evening 3rd, losing away at Sporting. Man City 4th, lost away to Bordeaux Glimt. And Inter Milan, who started 5th, losing at home to Arsenal. So that's 3 of the top 5 who have all lost or losing. And yes, Sporting from a corner have scored. And Sporting themselves, by the way, with a victory here, will move on to 13 points. And that will actually take them inside the top 8. So what a massive result that would be for them.
If
they can win. Saka's in for Arsenal.
Saka, man. Saka, relax, please relax. Find some Saka.
So,
do you think he should have played that ball across the goal to Gyökeres?
I think Rice should have. We'll watch it back, but I actually think Rice should have played Gyökeres in. I think Saka, to be fair, I think the defender is cutting.
Yeah, the angle's close. Oh,
we'll see
Skelly, come on. You're better than that.
Nice idea. We've turned around the last 5 minutes. We managed to...
Boys just managed the game, man.
Has Saka's been, because we set him to really high standards because he's a world-class footballer, has his maybe end product this season not been as good as what we've seen in recent seasons?
Collectively, the whole attacking unit struggled. I mean, if you look at our all competitions and whatnot, it looks gravy. But if you look at when these goals have happened, the goals they're on and the Italian droughts, 100%. That's something, going back to Mikel Arteta, that's something you want to see with Arteta. Release the shackles a bit. I mean, Saka's been good, but we're used to a great Saka.
Look at this. No, I think the defender does well.
Yeah,
I think Rice,
the defender narrows down the angle. Yeah,
if they show it again,
well, it's like you said, it should have went down the left.
I think Rice, to be fair, no, they're not going to show it. I think Rice could have played into Gyökeres, and Gyökeres just takes a touch and is on his right foot.
Trossard, love you. Had a good game today.
Yeah, he did all right. He's done all right in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Saka, I think maybe going on the outside, trying to beat the goalkeeper from the near post might not be the right idea, maybe.
Fair with you.
Yeah, maybe. Well, he didn't play, did he? He didn't start the game.
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah, to be fair.
James, I remember you in particular when you were on the show a few weeks ago. You were quite defensive, weren't you, with Victor Gyökeres on the side, sort of saying stay patient and stuff. A few weeks on, do you still think that this guy is? We know he's a good player, a talented player, but do you think he's going to succeed in this Arsenal team?
No.
Oh, you don't?
No, but I have changed my mind a lot. So,
well, you've changed your mind?
Look, some of us can admit that, that
you maybe misprofiled?
No, I think I profiled him brilliantly. I think...
No,
it's not your fault, is it?
As in the recruitment probably went with the wrong profile of striker.
Okay, look, I think two things are true. I think that's good. That's good. I changed my mind. He's brilliant.
Martinelli now for Arsenal.
Lovely hold.
Can he come in the box? 1-on-1, goes on the outside. Does he overhit it? He does overhit it. And Sommer comes down and collects.
I need to hear the lane change. I'm locked in. Go on.
I still think two things are true. I think because of the nature of him always wanting to get into tussle with defenders, running and beyond, I actually think we look a bit better for having him on the pitch sometimes. I think we go from one end of the pitch to the other quite quickly. I don't think there's any... I don't think it's a coincidence that a lot of our better results have come with him starting. I think we've gone on great runs when he started games. You think of the way at the bridge, he was an outlet for us. He did well. However, I need more from his first touch. I need more from his finishing. I need more in terms of just general bringing players into play. He works extremely hard. I think he maybe is just a bit too much of a game state player. Like, I think there's certain game states that are going to suit him.
What does that mean?
The conditions have to
against Liverpool, where that first half, second half, you were brilliant, but first half you were very deep, very defensive. Even the wingers were tracking back into full-back positions. There's no room for him. He's not going to show that kind of deft little touch, look after the ball, roll, defender makes it happen. Not against Van Dijk and Konate, but where Bournemouth, a bit more open game, they're going to go punch for punch. I think you can expect him to just run, and Chelsea as well, to be fair. You can expect him to run and beyond, stretch the game, give us an outlet. So games like today, where you're coming up against, again, back three, stubborn into defence, you can see what Jesus does. It's all about being really technical, really, really cute in what you do. I don't like using the word cute. I don't really know what it means, but you know what I mean when I say it.
Look at Zuber Mendy.
Yeah.
Man, I love him. Look at that ref. Come on.
So, yeah, he's not what I hoped he'd be, but I'm not writing him off yet, and I think he can still play a part this season. A big part.
But does Kai Havertz, when fit, start?
I'll be honest, even when I was defending him, I thought he would. Okay. Because I just think Arteta really likes Kai. And also, fundamentally, Jesus is playing better than Gyökeres right now.
Do you agree, CJ?
I think you could look at it as, we all know the false nine system that Mikel Arteta deploys. I think Gyökeres, with no pre-season, coming in with all this expectation, I think for arguably the second choice striker at our football club, when everyone's fit, he's done well. I agree with everything James says.
He wasn't brought in to be
second choice.
We got to protect him. We don't know. We talk about having a competitive squad. How? I don't know. Arteta would have to tell me. Kai Havertz played up front, scored a Champions League winning goal against Chelsea. I don't know. You have to speak to Arteta. There's different game states and they all have unique qualities. What I would say with Gyökeres is, I second everything James says. I know we talk about game states a lot and working hard and all of those kind of things, which are true, but Chelsea showed that you can do it. I just want to see him be a bit more nasty, just be a bit closer, just think a bit more, just more speed of thought, just be a bit more of a savage, because that's the one thing that has shocked me, especially for a striker with his pedigree shown in Sporting Lisbon. I know there's an exchange rate, but I think he's a bit too nice. Maybe there's a lot of scrutiny, maybe life's come at him very fast, but I'm not prepared to give up on him. What I would say though, because you did everything to sign for this football club, you'll always have a comrade in me. If it's not working in the summer, I do want an upgrade. And I'm tired of some Arsenal fans sitting there and saying, oh, he wasn't Mikel Arteta's first choice. If he wasn't, who cares? He's here now. And again, no one is coming into this football club unless Arteta says yes. So make it happen, man.
Kvaratskhelia equalised with PSG, by the way, where it's Sporting 1, PSG 1. Do you agree with CJ there, James, that maybe if things don't improve for Gyökeres, Arsenal could get to the summer and go again in the forward options?
I said I'd want us to.
I think that's possible for two reasons. Andrea Berta has a history of signing strikers and moving them on for good money, saying it didn't work, cool, we're going to keep it moving. So he's not one to die on his sword and say, no, I'm putting all my stocks into this player. Secondly, I distinctly remember Arsenal fans being really frustrated about this. Why are we haggling over a couple million? Just play the money. We need the striker. Go get Gyökeres before United come in. What are we wasting time? He's the guy. Arsenal clearly weren't as convinced as some fans were. Not all, but some fans. So that makes Here we go.
Are you on side?
So that makes the price matter. That makes... Oh, here we go.
Unlucky.
Relax,
bro. Oi, talk.
Abby, come outside, please. You see what he did? Don't talk on that guy.
Second choice striker is on the bench.
Great finish.
I think that's what we call perfect timing.
Yeah.
Victor Gyökeres with a wonderful strike, 20-25 yards out with his right foot.
Yeah.
Beats the
Big
goalkeeper.
Great
Right on cue.
Right on cue. Big Champions League night. Champions League night. We got to remember, if we go back to the Chelsea game, at that time, that's the most important goal we scored, that Arsenal scored in the semi-finals, and he's done it at the San Siro, the holy grail of European
Great
football.
finish.
Look, great finish. And he actually tried to set it to Saka. How's that for the aesthetic merchants? What a finish. I'm never giving up.
He tries to set it to Saka and almost can't sort his feet out, but then the ball lays off perfectly to Gyökeres, who's just outside the box. He runs onto it, first time finish, beats Jan Sommer, who does get a right hand on it.
Yeah,
and he looks there like a man who looks relieved, happy and proud.
I'm sorry, what were we saying earlier about stretching the back foot? So Martinelli outside of his boot just boots it up the pitch because he's the more willing runner. Jesus and Havertz, in my opinion, don't make those kind of runs. He does that. What we were saying earlier, slightly unfortunate timing, because we were talking about you were
slagging him off, weren't you?
It actually seems to be a theme in here in the last few days.
I have defended this guy all season. Arsenal fans hate me for it. But we were saying Berta's not too proud, but Arsenal, what we were saying with the money spent, the reason they're haggling over the millions, the reason they got him for 55 plus add-ons was because they weren't willing to go, no, we're going to throw everything at it because he's the guy. Clearly there was a degree of, we're not sure, is it him, is it Sesko, do we even want this guy, is it going to be Havertz or whatever? Sorry?
And neither are really convinced. If you're honest, the striker market's dead.
And that's fine, but all you can ask is, look, I thought against Chelsea he was very good. Against Forest, I thought he was really poor. He's come on today, he's made an impact. Some good hold-up play, won a foul, and then when he gets that chance to show that he's a good finisher, he hits it really, really well. I'm really, really happy for him. He deserves that. And by the way, Arsenal, with very little on this game, are 3-1 up at the San Siro. About to make it 7 wins out of 7. We're looking so good in this Champions League campaign.
Sign of champions.
We just got to keep working very hard, man.
What would you rather? We won the Premier League or the Champions League?
Champs.
No, but you've got to have a preference. Which would you rather?
Do you think it matters for Spurs fans?
I think it does a little. I'll tell you why. I think Arsenal, while it's been over 20 years, we do have a history of winning league titles. We haven't.
Not last time,
Not in mine. But we do. Not in my supporting lifetime.
Yeah.
But in Europe, that's the one thing everyone holds against us as a big, massive club.
Yeah, that's true.
One thing people.
What would you prefer to win if you could pick one yourself then?
Champions.
Right now, because of the position we're in the Premier League. Because
I think the Prem's the one you want to get done.
Imagine we didn't win it from this position. But if you asked me at the start of the season, probably the Champions League, I think it does more for us as a club to have that on our record. But at the moment, the Premier League, because we're 7 points clear. If we don't win it from here, if we won the Champions League this season and didn't win the Premier League, we'd enjoy it. But there'd still be an element of.
How about this then? What about both?
The Premier League?
What about both, James? This season.
Well,
why can't Arsenal win both?
I think.
Let's talk in the knockouts.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go
now, please, CJ.
Because honestly, like the Champions League, you need to get to the knockouts.
Of course. Well, you're there, mate. You're in the knockouts.
Okay, but when we're there, you're
in the last 16.
All right, we're there, but I do think you need players with a bit more inevitability. I do think you need a higher caliber of certain players. Of course, luck can go your way. You mentioned
higher caliber where?
I just think you need players like you're going against Real Madrid. I know they were poor, but Real Madrid.
You beat Real Madrid comfortably last season.
Yeah, I know. And then again, if you
played very well against PSG in the second.
And then what happened against PSG? Real Madrid across those two legs. Proud of my boys. Very romantic. PSG came down to simply put
You mean world-class match winners you're talking?
Yeah, world-class match winners that they can get us out of trouble. Like, even Arsenal fans, we talk about players...
When did Norgard come on?
We talk about people scoring goals and the goals are all shared around. And I know it's not the same context, but when your back's up against it and things have gone wrong, when we drew against you, when we drew against Nottingham Forest, someone that can... You've been rubbish, can you just get us out of it? I think we need that. One thing that gives me a bit more confidence is, I mentioned PSG. Obviously, Partey was suspended. We had to move Marino from up front into the 8. We moved Rice into the 6, and we did look like a team that made those changes. Champions League, I just think it comes down to several factors. If you're offering me the Prem or the Champs, without knowing how the season's panned out, as a supporter, I'm going with the Champions League for reasons James said. If you're asking me to pick with everything in consideration, I think the players need the Prem more than the Champs because of, the last couple of years.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't know where we turn if it doesn't go how it goes.
Yeah, I agree with you. Actually, that's very well put. The players need the Premier League more.
No, well, one thing, I take your point about the Champions League, but one thing that is for absolute certain is I think you're as good as any other team in the Champions League. I get your point in those big moments, I get that.
And it's also on the
But
gaffer,
we've seen you beat Real Madrid last season. We've seen you beat Bayern Munich this season, who are possibly the second best team in the moment. So sure, nothing's a guarantee. But this Arsenal team, my goodness me, from a defensive point of view, we know are amazing.
Yeah.
And like the way you go to Inter Milan, tear them to pieces, you've got strength and depth, you've got, you're winning. And also, and now I'm really thinking, you might get deep in the Champions League. The league might be won by the time you get to the semi-finals of the Champions League. You don't know. There is...
Oh, yeah, can we get a fourth? We want 4, boys.
Yeah. If someone told me right now Arsenal win the Champions League this season, I wouldn't be surprised one bit.
Let's see how it goes.
Abby?
I hear it. I do hear it.
You prefer not to speak. Do you want to just go home? In fact, Spurs are winning 2-0. We'll come to you in a second.
You're not winning a game, man.
I know. I'm just intently watching my team see out.
Abby, if we win the quadruple, but you sneak top 4, would you be happy?
No, I could care less about top 4.
We're in.
Yokeres is in again. Yokeres on his right foot. Can he get a shot away? Oh,
it's cool.
That's rubbish.
You can do that. You can do that when you're back.
He actually did the hardest bit.
Apart from sky the ball 50 yards back in San Siro.
I thought this was going to get blocked.
He does well to make an opening on his right foot, but then he just takes maybe if I'm being generous, to take an awkward bounce before he gets a shot away. Maybe.
Yeah.
If it takes an awkward bounce, it's because he's taken an awkward touch.
Possibly, fair play. But it goes.
I don't blame him.
If that was a conversion in rugby, it'd be great, wouldn't it? Like, that would have gone straight in for 2 points at Twickenham.
What do they call it in NFL when they bring a team on to just kick the ball?
Touchdown.
Oh, you're talking about that position where they just kick the ball. Oh, I don't know what it's called, man, but I know what you're thinking of. Never.
Boys, before we wrap up the Arsenal conversation, James, has this just been another professional performance, professional victory, 7 wins from 7 in the Champions League last 16, guaranteed? An all-round great night for Arsenal.
It's been a great Champions League campaign. It's been a really great Champions League campaign. Arsenal have come here and just enjoyed themselves. They've been on the front foot. They've been aggressive. Second half, they've had to do a bit more deeper defending. They've done that too. They've responded to Inter Milan pulling one back, ultimately going back ahead. Jesus has got 2 goals, which is just great for the strength and depth. Yokeres has come on. Our strikers are scoring goals.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
I never knew how this felt.
Exactly.
We're in again here. That's not...
Unlucky, man. He's trying. It's
yeah, he is. I think the whole campaign has been amazing, and I think it's what I said earlier. This sums up the most for me how impressive this night has been. Arsenal might not have had a lot riding on this tonight. Arsenal have rotated with Gabriel coming out, Lewis Skelly coming in, Yokeres not starting, things like that. Rice on the bench. Inter had so much on this. Inter aren't in the position we're in where they can go, yeah, you know what, let's play out the 90, made the best man win. They had a lot on this game, and we've come and made it quite comfortable. I think they had a spell in the first half where I thought, we're under the cosh here. They're counter-attacking quite well. Credit to Arteta. He's clearly tweaked some things. We've been so much more organised in this second half, and we've just countered them nicely and just defended well, and then taken that third opportunity when it came. This has been a great night for Arsenal. Not one that will be remembered forever because it doesn't mean so much, but a great night in terms of just going, you all thought that we couldn't score goals after Forest. Some people were thinking, the goal's really there, and the strikes have popped up, which is great to see.
But the annoying thing is, James, it just feels like in Europe, the way the oppositions have spaces, it's
a different game.
Yeah, it's a different ball game.
Sport.
It's like playing 2 different... Exactly.
It really is a different game in Europe. And that's just okay.
To find that way now.
Leagues are different, competitions are different, the requirements are different. Yeah. And in this, Arsenal are very suited to it. You were saying that we need, match winners to win the Champions League. Where I slightly disagree is Arsenal's tactics, I think, are so finely tuned. Over 2 legs, I think the little things, field tilt, XG, those little things matter more over 2 legs, over 180 minutes
But
of
then
football.
we sit here and talk about fine margins like we have a couple of
Do the
times
fine
this
margins matter as much over 180 as they do in 90?
They
Do you
do,
know what I
because
mean?
the most important statistic that means is scoring. And I hear you, but we said,
it's
gosh,
all
it's
kicking
Oh,
off.
wow.
handbags.
Sporting. No, it's a goal.
It was all kicking off.
I thought it was
that,
handbags.
that is what you call home limbs. Sporting
Wow.
just scored in the 91st minute to go 2-1 up against PSG.
Wait, when did PSG score?
Yeah, Kravatskelia literally just after Sporting to the lead. You guys are arguing. In fact, you were going on a passionate rant, so I didn't interrupt
Yeah,
you.
Arsenal better.
But Kravatskelia
done it.
equalised for PSG. So into 1, Arsenal 3. Sporting have retaken the lead against PSG with us 5 minutes of time. Adam, let me just confirm you the full times in the Championship. Derby win at Charlton by 2-1. Top of the table Coventry win again, beating Millwall by 2-1. Ipswich go to second in the Championship. They beat Bristol City 2-0. Middlesbrough will play tomorrow night though, of course. Oxford 0, QPR 0. What a night for Hull, winning 3-0 at Preston. Birmingham win 2-0 at Sheffield Wednesday. Swansea 3, Blackburn 1. How about this for a result? West Brom 0, Norwich 5, which is quite remarkable. Leicester have just equalised against Wrexham late. Yannick Vestergaard in the 90th minute. And the latest scores then in the Champions League approaching the final couple of minutes. Arsenal do win 3-1 away at Inter Milan. Copenhagen, Napoli, that is at 1-1. Larson equalised for Copenhagen after McTominay gave Napoli the lead. Olympiacos 2 by Leverkusen 0. Jude Bellingham scored the 6th goal for Real Madrid. Mentioned there Sporting 2, PSG 1. It's still Spurs 1, Spurs 2, Borussia Dortmund 0. Ajax scored a late winner away at Villarreal. Villarreal 1, Ajax 2. Abby, what does this result and performance do for Thomas Frank and Tottenham Hotspur?
I think it just gives a happy evening. I think it probably relieves a little bit of pressure, like from the pressure tank that was boiling
1%
over.
of pressure, maybe?
Yeah, I'd say a little bit of pressure. Like, it just means that Spurs fans can actually have a nice evening out, nice day at work tomorrow, and we've just got a nice couple of days where there's a little bit less pressure. You've seen a good performance. Spurs fans were on their backs a little bit, not so much, but more like the level of pressing kind of dropped in the second half. So they were trying to will them on, get them to be like, let's not drop in the level. Let's keep pressing.
Abby, you're 5th in the current live league table,
which is
and
great.
your last game, by the way, is away at Frankfurt.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're at Frankfurt in the
Don't sleep on that.
in the table. Frankfurt are 4 from bottom, so
Yeah.
it would be. Let's not, on a serious note, let's not downplay this. If Thomas Frank gets Tottenham in the top 8 of the Champions League, straight through to the last 16, and I know you've had, I think, apart from PSG, probably not the hardest run on paper, but if nobody was put in front of you, it would be some achievement.
Yeah, that is some achievement. However, I can't. And it's very similar to last year, but one is the Europa League and one is the Champions League. Okay, so
There's a big difference.
There's a big difference between the two. So I can't say that I'm happy to lose 22 times in a season and we're going to go win the Champions League. It's a very different ball game.
But last 16 in the Champions League is something to look forward to for the fans.
100%, especially when everything else in the league is so dire and we're out of all the cups. This is the happy moments. This is what we want to see.
Trust the process, Abby.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about this process.
I think she does trust the process.
Man, give-
Have you not
look,
listened to her for the last 10 years?
Give Thomas time,
Give
man.
him the credit where it's due. I would say having Solanke back up front, you can see a massive difference just in the hold-up play. Again, run it like he honestly works.
How far is Kulusevski away?
The season done.
Couldn't tell you.
You don't know?
No idea.
So we know Madison's not going to play this season, unlikely.
Kulusevski's in push back.
Is it really one of those ones?
No idea.
Do you see his Instagram post when he had that surgery, what his knee looked like?
Yeah.
Boy.
They said it was a knock.
Yeah.
Some knock. But yeah, there are positives to take. Jed Spence's performance tonight, seeing some youngsters come on the pitch. Not so good as obviously Lucas Berger going off injured, and hopefully that's not an actual injury. But look, they got the job done. Obviously, it's against 10 men. Wonder what it would have been like if it was 11v11. But you have to give them the credit.
I still back you lot to have won that, to be honest.
That team that only had 11 outfield players available, good on them.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So Burnley this weekend, then Frankfurt, and then after that, City, United, Newcastle, and Arsenal away, which is tough for Thomas Frank. Well, I guess tough for any team, really, right?
Yeah. Well, whether or not he's in charge of them, I don't know. But yeah, it's not the greatest. And like I said, if he manages to turn it around, turn the ship around, the tanker, whatever he was calling it, then fair play. But don't expect me to think that will happen.
Can we get any sort of positivity from you?
My positivity is I saw Jed Spence drop a Gareth Bale performance.
I mean, he's
in the first
steady.
half.
Right. He was good. He was dangerous down the left hand side.
I want to give that credit to him. Like, I just feel like it's been so long since I've seen a good performance that tonight has been a good performance. You know, I like seeing the Gray and the Bogle in midfield. I'd like to see that more often. I'm very happy to see Jed Spence on the wing if that's the attacking option. I'm happy to see Solanke up front, bringing people into it. I'm happy to see Xavi Simons with a smile on his face and us creating chances. It's very rare. You know, Udogie as well, our left back. Very nice to see. Danso, untroubled. Romero, great up front. That's fine. Can we pick this up and put it in the league? Then I'll be happy. Because for the last year, 18 months, I can't say I've been happy in the league. So this is lovely. This is a separate thing. But let's do it week in, week out.
Sorry, who got this weekend?
Burnley away.
Burnley. Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Dr. Tottenham and I'll see you, Burnley.
Well, again, Burnley are the only team that Burnley and Brentford are the only team we beat at home. Burnley being the first game of the season. You tell me.
No. Listen. I mean, I think you'll have enough quality to beat Burnley, and that's it'll be a start for Thomas Frank. Look, Abby. Look, we spoke about a lot on this show. I mean, goodness me, he's under so much pressure. We think when the fans turn on you and start chanting against you. I think from from that position as a manager, I think it's nearly impossible. I think to turn around when your own fans are chanting against you.
You need to win.
And look, it feels like he is. You know, this is.
Anyway.
You know, I interviewed Thomas Frank a lot when he was at Brentford. He really is a top guy. I think he's a very, very good coach. But look, clearly he's so far up against it, isn't he? And look, that run of City, United, Newcastle and Arsenal is clearly going to be really, really difficult. But you don't beat what's put in front of him. It's Burnley this weekend. It's Frankfurt away. You can get Tottenham in the top 8 of the Champions League, which will be unbelievable. Injury list at the moment is bad. You had, apart from Colin Moane, a bunch of kids on the bench. That's going to be so difficult. That's why I think it's so important for you guys to get through to that last 16 automatically, not have to play those playoff places.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, do you think there's any way you can turn this around?
Unless he went on a generational run where we were winning games and we were attacking and we didn't look anything like the Tottenham that I've seen us look like since he came in. No, I'd be floored. I don't know if I would ever have seen a manager come back from the brink like that. But if he does it, then good on him. All I want is my club to succeed. All I want is for someone and whoever's in charge to be tactically aware, good team selection, knowing what works for the fans, knowing what works for the team. You know, this works. This works tonight, where you are front-footed. Everyone's happy. You win the game. I appreciate not every game is going to be able to be like that. You're also not going to play against 10 men every week. But just having the tactical adaptability, which is what he was so apparently great at Brentford, which he was. You know, I've seen him do that. Like we said at the start of the show, he had months without Ivan Toney and still managed to create goals. I think last season Brentford were 5th highest scorers in the league. I know
tried things though, man.
I know we've got injuries.
He tried things. He didn't work though. But
sure, I know we've got injuries. We can sit here and say that we've had no Maddison all season. We've had no Kulusevski. Solanke's only just come back. I get all that. But it's also the way in which that you set up and the way in which that you play. And I just feel, when I see a performance like this tonight...
So maybe this is the start then of a change in tactics. There was more intensity, more pressing.
But I would say, why would it get to a point...
Why is it taking so long?
Why does it have to get to a point where the 11 picks itself because there's no one available for that to happen?
I just think balance is everything in football. Left-footed, left back.
On the left foot or on the left side, right foot on the right side.
A striker in link-up play, a 10, and then 2 players that can receive the ball at the base of midfield.
But why has he not done that?
No, I couldn't agree with you more. I think, on the weekend, I think you started Spence left back and then who on the left wing? I can't remember. But you've also done things like play Bergvall out wide, which is like, why are you doing that? But it's kind of true at Liverpool as well, not to make a Liverpool chat, but do you remember there were times in the season where you were playing Jones or Szoboszlai and Wirtz in midfield?
Oh, sorry, midfield.
Yeah.
There were times where we had Gravenberch, McAllister, Jones, Szoboszlai all in the diamond 4.
Yeah.
And Wirtz would play up front with Ekitike, who would drop into midfield. And you can always sometimes have 5 similar-ish sort of players all pretty much standing on top of each other.
Yeah, you need balance. When you don't have that, teams really struggle to...
Yeah.
I think sometimes to understand how they're going to approach breaking a team down, people find themselves in uncomfortable situations. You said Spence is on the left wing today. I mean, fine. He's probably given a bit more freedom to just do what he wants to do and run at players.
He's never really ever played in his actual position.
Well, that's true, which is right back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, tonight though, there wasn't loads of choices.
No. Of course not. And actually, he was great in that role. If that is the option that we have to create something and be attacking, I would rather see that than see what I've been watching. week in, week out.
One thing for certain, I mean, there was some speculation in the press, Abby, that he was going to go maybe tomorrow morning if the result didn't turn out. One thing for certain, he's definitely going to be in charge for Burnley on Saturday.
No, I always thought he would be in charge for Burnley. When they made the decision that he wasn't going to get sacked, and Monday morning I still didn't see any statement, I thought they're not going to sack him after this. They will wait to see what happens at Burnley. If you lose to Burnley, I said that after West Ham, to be fair, but yeah, I genuinely think it's the fact that they don't know quite what to do.
Yeah, this would have been part of the plan, would it, to have an option lined up at this stage, and they might think while Spurs are in the Champions League, while you've still got half a chance of top four,
I know,
they might think
half a chance of top four.
Well, I said a quarter of a chance of top four. Maybe it's worth persevering. He's going to get players back fit. I know the Liverpool situation was completely different because of what Arne Slot achieved last season, but like 9 defeats in 12, nobody would have planned for Arne Slot.
No, but Arne Slot has a hell of a lot of credit.
No, I appreciate that. I know he's got a lot of credit in the bank, but I'm saying you've got to look at the situation that Chelsea found themselves in.
Yeah,
Ian Rossini coming in. Someone with a lack of experience. Man United are doing something similar, and maybe Thomas Frank deserves the opportunity to get some of his players back fit again. I'm clutching straws here, Abby, I know that. And also, you're right, with the lack of options that are out there to come in this stage of the season, maybe he gets to the end of the season, take stock then, and then, Pochettino maybe being available after the World Cup, that maybe could make sense, couldn't it?
It could make sense. And if that meant that...
I didn't maybe believe that as I said that out loud about Thomas Frank.
You did.
I'm trying to be positive here.
I don't think you did believe that.
Can I say, if the plan is to bring in Poch in the summer, like that's what Spurs know they want to do.
I don't think Spurs.
I think unless Frank, unless Frank is literally in a relegation battle,
we are, James.
You're not. You're
not far off it.
Okay, but I think you'll be on.
I'm not.
I think you're fine.
I'm not being dramatic about it.
I
think if you're 2 points above Leeds, who you would probably say could get sucked into a relegation battle, then you do have to, with respect, include Tottenham in that conversation.
If that becomes even more of a fear, then of course Frank's going to lose his job, and I understand that there should be a certain standard that Tottenham don't want to fall below. But I don't think it's a bad thing to say the players stop. Well, we're not just going to keep changing the manager.
I agree.
Deep, and then in the summer you get Poch.
Yeah, fine, fair. But you obviously can't sack a squad, and I don't believe that half these players are as bad as I've seen them play or what they're being asked to do. I don't put that all on Thomas Frank. I put
multiple managers aren't improving them.
100%. And who knows, maybe Poch won't.
Like we're reaching, for some of these players, we're reaching 5 to 6 managers.
Yeah,
I think.
Agreed.
Where it's
Agreed. But I think there is young. I think there is a good nucleus in there. I think there are some good, young, talented players that could be developed and could, don't want to play so negatively. And I feel like if Thomas Frank can bring that out of them, if he can do what he did at Brentford, then absolutely I can trust that process. But you've got to show me something to trust a process of. Show me some green shoots. Show me anything. I have not seen anything. And that's why it's really, really hard to get behind a manager when I haven't been able to actually see any improvement other than on set pieces. Give me something. Show me a Spurs way of playing. Like tonight. Yeah. Show me that in the Premier League. And then we can have a conversation. I will always be happy to eat my words on it. Always. Be happy to not even backtrack. I'm happy to say I've changed my opinion. I've seen new evidence. But until I see that in the Premier League,
I love that. See new evidence.
I need to see new evidence.
Like you're working in court. Yeah.
He's on trial.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. There we go. There he is. In a footballing terms, he is. Tottenham did win this evening, beating Borussia Dortmund by 2-0. Villarreal 1, Ajax 2. Don't put yourself away just yet.
I'm not.
Other results this evening, it finished 1-1 between Copenhagen and Napoli. Arsenal going to Inter Milan and winning by 3 goals. Won Olympiacos 2 by Leverkusen 0. Real Madrid scored 6, beating Monaco 6-1. Mbappe with the brace against his former side. Sporting beat PSG by 2-1, and Ajax scored a late winner at Villarreal, winning 2-1 earlier on in the afternoon or late evening. Man City beating 3-1 away from home at Bodo Glimt. You are watching talkSPORT Goals on talkSPORT's YouTube channel and on your smart TVs. Following us this evening is the Sports Bar, Jeremy O'Hara and Jason Cundy taking your calls on all of the evening's fixtures. A very good evening and welcome back to talkSPORT Goals. We are live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel and also on your smart TVs. talkSPORT Goals is with you for another 5 minutes or so. Then Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy are going to be in the studio taking your calls on a busy night of football in the Champions League. It was a mixed bag for the English sides tonight. It started off badly. Man City losing 3-1 away at Bodo Glimt in the Champions League. Arsenal go 7 from 7. They're definitely in the last 16, winning 3-1 away from home into Milan. Dortmund had 10 men for large parts of their game against Spurs. Tottenham beating Borussia Dortmund by 2-0 to ease. Maybe just a smidgen of pressure on Thomas Frank. Copenhagen won, Napoli won, Olympiacos 2 by Leverkusen 0. Real Madrid thumping Monaco by 6-1. Sporting beat PSG by 2-1. Ajax scored a late goal against Villarreal. So in terms of the top 8 then, Arsenal, as I mentioned, 7-7 and 6 points clear of second place Real Madrid and 15. So too Bayern Munich. They play tomorrow. Spurs are 4th in the table. PSG 5th, Sporting jump into the top 8, they're 6th. Then there's Man City and Atalanta, the likes of Atletico, Liverpool, Newcastle and even Chelsea could maybe possibly go into the top 8 depending on results tomorrow night. I mean, Abby, I've got to say, if I just show you that right now, I mean, that must look, when was the last time we saw Spurs 4 anywhere?
Anywhere.
There's a lot more teams in the Champions League than there is the Premier League.
Yeah.
Are you saying we've done you a favour tonight?
Arsenal helping out Spurs.
Wow.
Cheers.
Yes, said that.
Don't ask for it in return.
Well, next week would be nice.
No.
Nah, dead. We don't want no.
Is that another game you want to lose?
Yeah, let them do that. We don't want nothing from Spurs.
She doesn't want to say it, but she would absolutely love. You don't want to take 3 points off City, do you?
Me personally,
Yeah.
not interested in taking.
She hates Arsenal more than she likes Spurs.
No,
100%.
I just, if there was an end goal for us, if it meant that we were actually going to do something, sure. If it's a difference of finishing 17th and finishing 16th.
What if it gets you relegated?
I've been asked this question quite a few times, you know, like what would I take? Look, this is the thing. When it came to the City game last time, and I obviously did not want to win that game because it meant that you would have won the league. There's so much that came from that. Obviously, Son's 1-on-1 with the keeper. He misses. We finished 5th.
Shame on any Arsenal fan.
We've got Europa League. Then we go on and win the Europa League.
Shame on them.
You serious?
1,000,000%. That's blasphemy. Yeah, 100%.
What is?
Because you mentioned obviously Spurs wanted you wanted Spurs to lose, and I was saying any Arsenal fan that genuinely wanted Spurs to win, shame on you. Because if we're ever,
What do you mean? Sorry.
I'm mad. If we're ever in a position where we need Spurs,
Spurs won you the league though.
I don't care about that. If we're ever in a position where Spurs need to do us a favour, we ain't done our job. We ain't done our job. Forget that.
No, respectfully. That's
You ain't been an Arsenal fan as long as I have, James.
That is completely.
I don't think
it's definitely not
play
nonsense.
that.
You're telling me if it came down to simple Spurs beat City and Arsenal win the league, you don't want Spurs to
I
win?
don't want that to happen. Nothing. I don't want.
You'd rather we don't win the league.
There's got to be
Well,
another.
you're lucky because
There's
it all
always
worked out.
another
It all
way.
worked out and we
There's
won the
always
Europa League
another way.
anyway.
But that week,
So it was fine.
there quite literally wasn't another way.
So I'd rather be angry at how the past went. I don't
We
want
won
us to-
16 out of 18 games. We drew one.
I'm
and
sure
lost
if I
one.
go further back, there's games we drop points, James. I'm not on that. I refuse to accept that. Football's not logical. I'm an Arsenal fan. Dead around.
Well,
I kind of rate
I don't want
it,
that.
but
I don't want
but
that.
I
No, I
just,
don't want that.
Will never be. I will shamelessly support whoever I need to support
I hear
to
that.
help Arsenal get over the line.
And I will shamelessly support whoever I need to support to make sure you don't.
And can I say,
I'm
as
keeping
much
my
as
integrity,
I
got
pressed
none.
you there on the question, I'd have been the same.
I know.
I'd have wanted Arsenal to lose for Tottenham not to
There
win
are
the league.
so many fans, so many Arsenal fans that say that or have this narrative that like they wouldn't want that. Take yourself back to the Champions League final. All of you would have done anything to make sure we didn't win it.
Abby, CJ,
You lot done
James,
it
thank you
yourselves.
so much. A good night for Arsenal, a good night for Spurs. The Sports Bar's next on talkSPORT's YouTube channel.